Good, man.
Oh no!
Now we're live.
Yeah, we're live, folks.
Yeah, sorry.
Do this intro.
Yeah, sorry we're late. By the way, we just laughing it up here pre-game. Just talking about Thanksgiving, talking about people getting knocked out, things like that.
Be for real. We were late because we were waiting for Slo-mo. Be for real.
Nah, man. I you know what, man? I wasn't even thinking about Slo-mo like that right now. So.
I'm always thinking about Slo-mo. So we were late because of Slo-mo. If he denies it. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, where Slo-mo should be here soon. I hope. Hopefully he's okay. Maybe
he should be. I don't know what Slo-mo doing.
Yo,
yeah.
He's probably working.
Like Nate can't really say anything at the house right now, right?
Nah, he can't.
He gets mad at his wife. He's like, "Yo, man, I told you, you handle Jake Paul like that."
Yeah.
He can't go anywhere.
Where's my dinner?
He can't go to the mall. He can't go to the store. He can't go get his hair cut. He can't go nowhere for a while.
He already little. He's small.
The internet is undefeated. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, shoot. As of right now, Jake Paul is undefeated when it comes.
Yeah.
Like right now, like Nate could be at the barbershop and somebody can come in after him and be like, "I got next."
What was even better was Snoop's reaction to
Snoop started singing those
Snoop's
hymns.
reaction. Yeah. He was singing the hymns from the Bible. He's like, "Oh Lord."
Man, Nate, I said, not like this, Nate. Come on.
Oh man. He got knocked out.
Look, man, people are not going to ever remember him being an NBA player. All they're going to remember that literally all disappeared in a flash of a second.
No, that's what I'm saying, Forte. Like, whoever he lost the dunk competition to can just walk in. That's like, I won.
I won, yeah. And you can't say nothing because you got knocked out.
You got knocked out by. Come on.
They were saying he should have never wore the Knicks colors in the ring.
They haven't been good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Listen, man. And then you got Jake Paul out here, got his chest out, freaking challenging Conor McGregor now. So,
he needs to slow down.
No, well, I don't know, man. He actually has a little bit more boxing knowledge than McGregor. So it's one of those fights where I'm thinking, like, if it was to happen,
but I don't know, man.
Who would I actually like? Because I don't know. You would think Conor, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Man, if Conor McGregor got knocked out by Jake Paul, I'd probably as an Irish man, I would have to go and slap his mom. Like just
hey man, Jake Paul has an opportunity of a lifetime if he gets in the ring with Conor McGregor. He can literally be like that Muhammad Ali picture you saw in that barbershop. No, they'll put a crown on that boy if he do that.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they totally would. Real quick, guys, we have a great show in store for everyone. Thank you everyone for joining us. Again, sorry we're started a little bit late, but we have two returning guests. We have Nick, Undead 3XVI, and Optimus Code is back in the house. So let's go ahead and get the show started right now. Wow, everyone in the live chat still going on about Nate Robinson. Our good buddy One Bad Mother says, every time you get a bad beating, you got Nate Robinson. Jeez.
Yo, think about it like this, man. Like if we really live like the animal kingdom, like how lions do, like Jake Paul could go to Nate's house and be like, "This is mine now."
Yeah.
Wow.
He could.
This like wow. Now. Like I got
it.
This is all mine. All mine.
Everything the light touches.
This is all mine. This is all mine. Well, on that note,
you got a nice house here, Nate.
You had a nice house, Nate. Yeah,
you had a nice house.
We're gonna have to come for you this money on this house.
Old man? No.
You're gonna need some credit after this.
You're gonna cry in the car.
Yeah, we want to give a big shout out to Louis Lusco with the $5 super chat. BRAP on that Demon Souls best launch game since Halo. Woo! That's a spicy take.
Also, that's definitely a spicy take.
Also, hope you guys talk about Metal Gear Solid remaster, which seems to be kind of teetering in the internets again. We've talked about that before. Actually, this past summer we talked about that. But anyhow, we have a great show. We got Nick from the lordsofgaming.net. Nick, welcome back to BRAP, sir. Or he's also known on Twitter as Undead3XVI. I finally remembered it. Nick, welcome back to BRAP, sir.
Thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure to be here. And hopefully I don't get Nate Robinson halfway through this podcast.
No, you ain't gonna worry about that. That's you ain't worry about that.
Yeah.
That crowd is already spoken for.
Yes. Forte might do that to Slo-mo, though, when Slo-mo arrives, though. You know, they like to
Nick,
go back.
Slo-mo don't deserve that type of punishment.
Nick, I need to know how you feel hanging out with all these black guys, man. Do they get on your nerves?
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord.
Actually,
I don't even know how to answer that question.
There's actually one Latino here. I might add.
Most of the Iron Lords are of African descent, so he's kind of used to it.
This is true.
Trust me, in board meetings, I am the odd man out. I am very used to this situation.
Even at
All right, bet. Just let me know if they're making you uncomfortable, and I'll take care of it for you, Nick.
Sir, I grew up in a very predominantly black area. I am fine. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So you saying you can handle these niggas on your own?
Well, you know, I the only one I'm worried about is Eric because he's actually just a little bit taller than me. But other than that,
Oh my God.
All right, that's what's up, Jake. That's what's up. Player.
On that note, we have Optimus Code, the man who is getting a lot of people upset these days on the Twitters for dropping what I like to call hashtag facts. What's up, Code?
So I'm about to make you upset too because your topics is trash. We ain't talking about that stuff, man. We talking about
my topics are perfectly fine, Code. You don't want to talk about it because I said the topics you already forgot about because you're so old. You got to take your ginkgo biloba, whatever that shit is, to help your memory.
Hater.
Man, literally came here and said your topics are trash. Wow.
It's because he's forgetful.
He's been around Hard 8 too much. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
He become very opinionated, a lot more opinionated than you used to be.
Code, you have been very vocal.
He become let's be for real here, Code. Let's be for real. I've been listening to you for a long ass time now for the last couple of the last year or so. Ever since you teamed up with my boy Hard 8, man, you became like a disciple. You like your personality has flipped. What's going on, man?
That is not true.
So, you just been hiding it from us all this time?
You became the mad rapper.
Nope.
You've been hiding this from us all the time?
Why are you so mad, son? Let me tell you why I'm mad.
None of that is what it's just a mere coincidence.
It's a mere coincidence.
The Xbox fan base turned on me right at the same time as
wait, Code, what do you mean they turned on you?
Stuff, and then the Series X was released. And it was a disappointment, and then more argument from the fan base. And so, I don't know if you guys ever had seen debates and conversations between theists and atheists.
Yeah.
And anyway, there's this technique that the atheists have popularized, and it's this thing when they feel that logic and reason has failed, they resort to mockery.
Okay.
And so, that's exactly the approach that I take. If these bastards is not going to listen to logic and reason, then the only thing left is to make fun of them. So that's pretty much what I do. It just so happens that 8 reached out to me right at the time that this was starting.
Yeah, I will get it, because you know how 8 is. I don't want a video made about me. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying 8 is the reason you're this way. Listen, 8. You my boy. I'm not saying you're the reason. I'm saying it's a coincidence that this man turned into somebody completely different around the same time. But thank you for introducing us to your thought process on that, because I was wondering. I was like, yo, these people must have really pissed him off over the course of the last 3 months for him to go in.
Code, you're on another level, man. I've been following you for a while now, and it's you're not even pulling punches, man, at this point. But I get it though, because for a long time, I get it though, Code, because for a long time you did talk. So you know what's funny? Here's the thing: a lot of the things you talked about have come true. What did you say a long time ago? Power, teraflops, that's whatever, blah, right? It's all about dev talent, tools, resources, etc., etc., etc.
Yes, sir.
Lo and behold, what are we seeing right now? Right?
Yeah.
And you said it, and even though you said it, people are still that's not it. No, it's digital founders. They're being biased.
That's true.
They're paid. They're bought off. They're harassing my man John Linneman for no reason, which is nuts.
That's crazy.
People need to stop that shit. Seriously.
That is crazy.
They need to stop it. Like I don't like, you know, and I've, you guys have heard me get on my horse about the whole media bias thing, you know. But like the stuff that I've seen about Digital Foundry and going after those guys, and it's like, really, like, what are we doing here? Why? It's just terrible. And it's funny, like Code, you've been, everything you said happened.
And there's more to come. That's gonna happen. It's gonna fall right in place like dominoes, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And here's the thing, and this is the funny thing too. So my time on Twitter, I was mainly on Twitter for like the programming stuff and the developers. So most of the followers I have and stuff is from the developer community. Eventually I discovered gaming Twitter. And one of the first things I noticed, and then also with the gaming YouTube, I noticed Porter Rock. And I watched some of his older videos when like he was debating like the Xbox dudes, and I was watching him debate people on Twitter, and he was killing them. Like he was destroying everybody that went against him. I don't remember the dude's name, but he wouldn't even like show up for that next debate on the little video thing. So like you can search his older videos and like Zaire's older videos, and like Rock was just like killing them. And I was like, that guy, he always wins because he's always come from a position of strength. Like he knows what he's arguing about. His technical knowledge is better than theirs. And I was like, man, the Xbox community needs more knowledge so that they can adequately defend themselves against him. So I go to the Xbox community to try to help educate them on the realities of game development, specifically so they can beat Porter Rock in an actual debate. And lo and behold, them bastards turned on me and started attacking me, talking about I'm making Xbox look bad. And the funny thing is, he is the one who was telling me, he was like, hey, you can't really educate people on Twitter. I was like, no, man, you just got to be patient with people. Because I remember it was a time when I didn't understand all this stuff. So it just takes patience. And he was like, okay. And he would go away, and a month or two later, he would come back like, man, I'm trying to tell you. So finally, once all this stuff happened and I just got fed up with all these arguments and all of this name calling and shit, I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck all of them. And he was exactly right. And he was like, I told you. Like the man that I came to help them defeat is the one who was actually helping me against them. So it was very ironic the way it turned out.
Yeah.
So, and I need to clarify because people still get it mixed up. When I differentiate between an Xbot and a legit Xbox fan, because I consider myself to be a legit Xbox fan. Mm-hmm. But like those extremists who, well, I won't even go into all the stuff because I don't want to take.
Oh, do you own a Series X?
I do not.
You're not an Xbox fan. I'm just joking. No, that's what people will tell you, though. You know that, right?
Man, look. You know my response to all. I
know.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that whole story. That is the reason why I'm just like I've had enough.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? It's like a lot of the things you've said, not to kind of derail the. I want to get in our first topic here, but because it's Xbox related, but a lot of the things you've talked about, Code, with tooling, I've heard from other people and even developers. Like I've talked to developers on Discord
because it's just true
that have said like that they basically said like that basically the tools are a mess right now. You know,
they're not really a mess. Enrique is. Oh my! So
why would one developer actually say that?
And what they're trying to do, the fundamental thing that's missing from the Xbox tools provided by Xbox themselves is you don't have the ability to go program to the metal. You have to rely on their compilers for all of your optimizations. And that's good, right? Like that's a really good thing because the reason Xbox are doing that is with like, for example, on the PlayStation, you got the PS4 and PS5. That's it. And that's it. On the Xbox, you have the Xbox SX, the SS, the One S, the One X, and then a bunch of different configurations for PC. And so to optimize each one of them by hand is a very daunting task, and it's going to take a lot of time. So what Xbox are trying to do is remove the optimizations from the humans specifically and let their SDK handle all of that stuff for you. And as the SDK gets better, the games will get better, all of that good stuff. But what developers want is the ability to bypass the SDK and go straight to the metal. And that is the thing that it doesn't have. So depending on your game, their tools may be fine for what you're trying to do. And in a different game, it may not be. And all the other stuff, people have to learn to use it. But at the end of the day, the tools is what allows you to get the power out of the hardware. Hardware without tools is meaningless, which is, I've been saying that for about 8 months now. And so the point is, Xbox tools aren't bad. They aren't horrible. They're just missing specific optimization things that some teams need, but other teams are okay with.
Yeah, I listened to you. He was talking about that on Hard Ace channel, and then he tried to cut you off, saying we bored when you were talking about. He said, "Man, this is important. I'm gonna finish this conversation." So I heard you talking about that, and the thing that really gravitated to me and what I was thinking is, Xbox is okay. So PC is an open platform. The benefits of being on console is the fact that developers had the option of going to the metal to actually benefit them more, because you're literally hitting the source of what the system is. That's supposed to be the benefit
the hardware
of doing.
Is known, so
the hardware is known across all platforms, and you can basically code to that. So that's why that's why you have ports and stuff that are bad on PC, because that's not the case on PC. You got so many configurations. Like when you were saying that, I was like, so that's why Xbox is kind of lagging behind in certain things, because they're treating it like, as of right now, it's like open. No one really knows exactly how to do what they want. Well, they know how to do it. They just don't want to do it in the way that Xbox wants them to do it.
No, they actually can't. Right.
They just can't.
Exactly. There is no APIs that exist that allow them to get to the metal. Absolutely.
And Xbox is locking them out of that, basically.
Yeah, but again, it's not out of spite. It's because they really want developers not to have to worry about it to that degree. So they're working really hard to get the software ready so that they don't have to do that. But for now, it's just not there yet.
So is there ever going to be a possibility? Because the one thing I'm hearing from you is, if Xbox doesn't open it up, it basically comes, and there'll never be a PC, because PC, like I said, has ever-changing parts and stuff, and you could throw enough power at something to really, overcome
where you just brute force it.
Yeah, but because you're at a certain point where certain games, like on lower end graphics cards, can run crappy as heck, but overall the performance, like we were looking at Devil May Cry, the differences between how the systems were jumping back and forth. When I looked at that, people were like, PlayStation is winning. I'm looking at like the fact that frame pacing is jumping all over the place. That game ain't optimized for crap on either system, because you shouldn't be having a 30-point delta between the top end and the bottom end as you're playing. It lets me know that the developers went in and they didn't code it correctly on any of these systems. Now, yes, PlayStation is outpacing it, but it's still bad on both systems. And I'm seeing that be the case when you look at PC gaming. It's like, if you have enough power, it will look good. But if your frame pacing is all over the place, it still looks bad no matter what. You just have enough power to like kind of overcome it a little bit. And we don't have that on console, because these consoles are kind of fixed in what their section is right now.
Yeah. And so, and everything you said, I agree with. And you asked a question at the beginning of that, which was basically like, is this going to continue to happen? And if Microsoft won't do this, and like nobody knows the answer to that, because there are two choices. Either Microsoft can give them the ability to go to the metal, or their tools can get so much better that they don't need to go to the metal. And nobody knows what's going to happen. But I guarantee you that they are working tirelessly with developers, because each dev team has a different need. So they're working specifically with developers to basically customize a solution for them to get them going. But at the end of the day, Microsoft's plan, I think, is the right one, to just remove the need for it. But it's too early in the game, and it's just not quite ready yet.
It's just crazy to hear that, because you would think, like, I understand how they want how the functionality of they wanted the system to be able to be developed on, but just hearing that, it sounds like even first party won't be able to have access to that. In their first party, you would think they can go. We've seen what first party can do on PlayStation when they have They have complete control over the API.
4K, we better change the subject because this can go on.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Time.
You can't because it's kind of crazy because now I'm looking at first party. Like, what are we going to expect from first? Are we going to be seeing the same type of thing that we're seeing now from first party? Because if third party can't do it right now, what first party going to do? Are they going to like leave it open for first party to be able to access something like that? If that is the case, that's kind of crappy for third party developers.
There is no special version just for first party. They all work with the same DX12 view. So like what's good for one is the same.
It's good for all. So that's kind of troubling hearing that type of conversation that, you know, and we want first party. That's what we're all looking forward to is what first party is going to bring in. I mean, we got time, I guess. They ain't got no games coming anytime soon.
Yeah, right
guess
now
the question I have.
Fire X in my hand.
Oh, hi,
That's all
Slo-mo.
I'm really caring about.
What's up, Slo-mo?
What up, y'all?
Slo-mo, what up, player?
What's up, man?
They said you were scared to Slo-mo.
Scared of what?
I don't know. That's what they said.
I mean, he was playing PlayStation. That's probably why you're late.
Oh, you got your PlayStation, Slo-mo?
Yes, I did get it, but yeah, I'm kind of like, what am I supposed to be afraid of? I don't understand.
I don't know. Bugsnax?
That man got he got that PlayStation from Kohl's. He ain't afraid of nothing.
So that came through. So you ain't one of the ones that got canceled.
Yeah. Oh no. I was probably like maybe the one of the last ones they actually confirmed. I had to wait like 2 days to find out whether mine was going to get canceled.
Wow,
man, that's what's a congrats to you, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You,
hey, real quick, let me get the super chat because this is for you, Slo-mo. Leadmaster with the $5 super chat says, "Here's $5 to help Slo-mo get his PS5." He already has it, Leadmaster.
Yeah,
got it.
It wasn't a money issue; it was an availability issue.
Yeah,
plus Enrique wasn't gonna give it to him anyway.
Right,
exactly, right. Like he was gonna give me the money. Like, come on,
you get nada.
Look, any money that you
I got
guys
some tacos you can get.
any money you want to donate to Slo-mo Backslap, come to DPS on tomorrow, and I will make sure if you put his name in it, I will send him that money.
I'm gifting Slo-mo a bug snack, so he has to play it.
Well, I'm gonna gift you everything.
Bug snack.
I'm not gonna keep trying to redefine what the terms are for me playing this game.
Bug snack's actually free. It's free.
I play the game. That's it.
Yeah,
there's no other way that I'm playing it. I know.
Did you already?
My time isn't free though.
Did you already buy it?
My time's not free.
Why would I buy it? It was.
I'm saying.
Plus.
Did you put it in your library at least?
Yeah, I put it in my library.
Okay,
I did that at least.
Hey,
it expired or whatever.
I want to let everyone.
What you got against Bug Snacks? I got the platinum for it, man. That mug was fun.
It ain't for me. It ain't for me, man.
But how do you know?
Because I looked at it and I said I don't want to play that.
All right, Slo-mo, hold on. I hear you. But I'm gonna ask you just a very basic question. How many games have you ever played where you thought you wouldn't like it, but you gave it a chance and you realized that you did?
That's a great point.
That's a really good question right there.
Less than a handful.
So it can happen.
There's a possibility. It's low, but there is a possibility.
He said it's low.
But either way, I'm saying you ought to give it a chance, man. That gameplay loop was very addictive.
I'm gonna hit 1K subs. I think fairly soon, and once I do, I will uphold my end of the bargain.
You will honor
and play this nonsense game. I will play it. I will live stream it, and you guys can get a kick out of me, basically like doing my best not to bang my head up against my desk. Or
watch Slo-mo like it. He's gonna be like, "This is my game of the year."
Man, I might want to put together a challenge where Slo-mo plays Bug Snacks, gets the platinum.
Oh wait! Hold,
he can get two prizes. It's the regular prize.
Why are we adding things like getting platinum? Look, this is more than just a live stream. This means I gotta keep playing the game until
it's
I
a cash
platinum
prize. So it's two pots. The first pot is if you beat it, and the second higher cash pot is if you beat it without complaining.
Wow!
Beat it without complaining.
Challenge.
That would be really difficult.
I will, whatever the pot is, I will cash in towards the pot too, just to see that happen.
Wow.
Yeah, we might have
get a new kid's move.
Beat it without complaining.
Without complaining.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know if that's possible.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey, look. What I was going to say before we had had this detour into Bugsnax world.
Wrap it up, B.
No one wants to be at. To your topic, when you guys were talking about the tools, and it just seems to me that so much of what Microsoft had planned for the Xbox Series X and S in regards to Game Core, the tools, or just the fact that they actually had these two different SKUs to begin with. I have yet to see a developer come out and say these things were things they wanted, you know? Like I have yet to hear a developer say, I'm saying it's not, these people don't exist. These developers don't exist. I'm just saying I haven't seen them, and I've seen a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I've seen developers or whisper to other people in the industry that they know saying like, we really didn't want to have to keep doing all these additional SKUs, or we really didn't want to have to do things this way. Like, it just seems like they weren't listening to anyone.
Yeah, like a couple of developers, I don't know if you remember it, but quite a few real like high-level senior engineers at very public profile game dev shops was complaining, and then next thing you know, Microsoft ended up buying that company, and then those tweets were deleted. But developers were definitely complaining about certain aspects of the dev workflow for the Xbox platform.
It's really unfortunate, because it also kind of reminds me of the beginning of last gen, where they were TV, and they didn't seem to actually speak to any gamers about what actual gamers wanted from the Xbox One. And they didn't want TV. You know, like, hey, me being able to play, you know, my TV through my Xbox while I'm playing a game, that's all right, that's cool, but that's not really what I'm focused on, and really what I care about. And it seemed that they consistently don't have their finger on the pulse in certain areas. Before, it was the gamers, and some would say they still don't have the finger on the pulse of the gamers today. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, I disagree with that part.
The gamers said we need more games. They went out. They got 23 studios now. I think they're listening. Yeah. But when it comes to, now it just seems like they're not listening to the developers that actually have to make those games. You know, so it just seems like they still got some work to do in that regard, as well as, I would say, some work on being better managers of the developers they have under their umbrella as well. Because what happened with 343, I think, is just that shouldn't. Someone fell asleep at the wheel, basically, and that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, no, I see. I think again, this is also a scenario of sometimes stop talking.
Exactly.
Stop saying so much. Stop. Pull up. Just show up. Be the first person in the gym. Put the work in, and then when you get on the field, knock somebody ass out.
Facts.
Nate Robinson.
Yeah. And that's basically what it comes down to. It's like, and again, people may disagree with me, but I said all that talk on social media, you bought into the loudest of the base on social media in the bubble about the power narrative. You had to answer that to the utmost. Instead of just being like, look, here it is. You know, we have a console, the most powerful Xbox that we've ever made.
Yeah. Yep.
And go off and run.
Boom. Yeah.
I want to say we have the most powerful console made ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you want to pull that back. And you get into, if you want to go into the tribalism talk, people feed into that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Right now, I don't really give a damn which one plays better, which one is whatever. If you have either one, you're good.
Yeah, facts.
But okay, it's two things I want to say now, since y'all not going to change the subject. So
we're going to change it here in a minute.
Okay. All right. The one thing I want to say,
last word,
that Slo-mo said on Scrumcast, which was so true. He's like, if you look at the head of these gaming companies, you don't see the heads of PlayStation, Nintendo, or Steam all on podcasts and all on social media saying all of this stuff. They quiet. A lot of people don't even know who the head of Nintendo is. But there is one brand where the head of that division is always on somebody's podcast, or always giving some interview, just always saying stuff like, man, let the product talk for itself. So that's the one thing. Then the other thing, what EJ just said about, like showing up to the gym and doing all the stuff. Here's the thing. They have some good franchises. They have some good IPs. They clearly focus on delivering content. Like, All they have to do is just deliver and just be like I tweeted the other day. Just don't treat us like children. Let us develop empathy with the developers. Help us understand what they're going through. We will wait, but like, don't just keep us in the dark. Give us a roadmap. Like, do something. Make it so that the people that have invested in Xbox for over 20 fucking years understand that the brand is in good hands and that you are taking care of things. And here's the roadmap. They talking a lot, but the things they talking about is not the stuff that's advancing the state of affairs, in my opinion.
That's a great point, Code. I mean, you know, you and EJ made some great points about let the product, let the games do the talking. I mean, for all the hubla of we lived this past summer of where's Sony? Why is PlayStation so quiet? They're scared. They're this or that. They're not prepared. They're not going to make launch. Here we are. And people are talking about Miles Morales. People are talking about the haptic feedback of the dual sets. People are talking about Demon Souls. I mean, somebody in the live chat said Demon Souls is the best launch game since Halo. I mean, that's what you want. That's the product talking. That's what you want. And
exactly.
Code, I heard you say something effective. You said this to somebody on Twitter. When they touted all this teraflop stuff, and what did you expect people to react when the games aren't showing it? When it didn't happen?
Yeah,
that's a valid point.
Yeah, and everybody wants you to just be quiet. Like, this one, I'm not gonna mention no names, but they like you can express your displeasure, but only say it one time. Like, my Twitter account. I said it many times as I want to.
I saw that. Yeah. Did you ban that person, Code? You block him after that nonsense?
No, not at all.
All right. So that's great points all around. Hold on, let me get the super chat real quick. Lake C with the $5.49 euro. If developers can code to the metal on PS5 but can't on Xbox, they will get more out of PS5. Will this close the gap?
Yes, it will definitely close the gap, but it's never this thing where it's going to overtake them and have like this huge power advantage. That's never going to happen. The people whose expectation is for them to be right around equal and trade blows back and forth where some games are better here, some games are better over there, that will happen. But this thing where the Xbox Series X will always just defeat the PlayStation for every game, outpacing in some way, that's not going to happen. And the sooner people realize that and stop even caring about that. Like, it's not going to happen. It's irrelevant. If you guys remember, I started tweeting months ago, like, how would you know if you're playing the best version of a game? Like, without somebody like Digital Foundry to tell you, you won't know. So how about you just enjoy the game on whatever system you have and let that be it? And like all of the Xbox dudes was coming at me, right? Like, you're only saying that because you're a pony and you know that PlayStation is going to lose the power advantage, when really I was trying to stop the Xbox community from setting themselves up to get hit in the mouth. And same thing, they didn't want to hear it. All the stuff all that stuff's public record. You can look on my Twitter timeline. You can see all the stuff that happens. And now, lo and behold, now everybody want to just, let's just relax and just play games. Motherfucker, we've been telling you that for months, but you didn't want to do it. You had the quote unquote power advantage. Now everybody want to just get along. Fuck that.
Just play your games, Code. Play your games.
It's time for war now. Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Let there be war. Damn it.
All right. Speaking of games, Ubisoft is releasing Immortals Fenyx Rising. Our man Slo-mo Backslap. The game releases tomorrow. Man, Slo-mo Backslap actually has a review copy, but I guess he's under NDA. Probably really can't talk about it. This game is.
You got a what?
Yeah, I got a review copy.
He's big time now.
Where'd you get this from? How you got through that website?
It's from Ubisoft. I got it from a scalper or something.
No. Hold on. First of all, man,
coat with a.
First of all, why are you sharing this information about the people you getting this stuff from, man?
What, Ubisoft?
I don't know what contact you got. A contact at Ubisoft?
Look, I saw they were looking for content creators. I signed up. I ain't think I was going to get it. And then they was like, hey.
So now I am forced to buy. I paid for this game. I'm not saying I wasn't going to pay for it anyway. But listen, if I ain't have to, I wouldn't have.
I'm confused.
You ain't let me know this. No, this is because Slo-mo. No, this is a game that I've been looking forward to.
What you're saying is you would have liked that Slo-mo.
I would have liked to have told me about this, so I could have signed up for it.
Are you going to make a video off of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video off of it regardless.
Just free games, you know. It's
I'm gonna make a video off the game anyways because I was very excited for it.
Let me.
I wish you would have told me that you were.
Go ahead, Slo-mo. That's okay. I can't count on you when it comes to stuff like that. I understand.
Wow. Okay. We're not going to let's not derail the topic here. Okay, so Slo-mo's got a copy. Nick, are you doing a review for this? By the way, for
Slo-mo just tripped and fell.
Was that Slo-mo who fell?
No, that wasn't me.
His ankles just went out.
Oh, okay, Nick.
I can't. I think I can't talk about it. Yeah, I think the embargo was up on Monday.
Yeah, Nick, are you doing a review for this for Lords of Gaming?
No, I'm not handling this review. I've got something in 2077 I've got to worry about.
Woo! Okay,
man, Nick just dropped the mic. Like what? Ask me something else.
Nick, what can you share about 20?
Nothing?
Okay.
Absolutely nothing. They have a gun. They have a gun to my daughter's head if I say anything.
Can you say that? Can you say it's pretty?
No, I cannot say a single word.
All right, so we.
Yeah, y'all leave them alone, man. That stuff is serious, man.
I know.
Yeah. Embargo. All right, that's why, like when y'all asked me, like, what do you think about it? I'm like, wait a minute, let me go look at the email.
Yeah,
I didn't even say that. Like, I was just like, wait a minute. The rules they have. I had heard it was pretty extensive, but I didn't think it was like that.
Yeah. Well, I got to say the one thing that really kind of stood out to me about this game is that one, it's really different from anything that, or not should say anything that, from what
are we
Ubi
talking about, Cyberpunk or the Phoenix?
Oh, I'm sorry, Fenyx Rising.
Okay.
Immortals Fenyx Rising. So it comes out tomorrow, a week before Cyberpunk 2077. And one of the things I thought was kind of unique about this game is that it's different from what Ubisoft has recently or typically puts out. You know, it looks like a pretty like colorful world. You know, you get the Breath of the Wild vibes. I've heard at least I've seen a lot of the reviews that it gets compared to Breath of the Wild quite a bit. Some people said that some reviews are kind of knocking it, saying it kind of stole Breath of the Wild and didn't do Breath of the Wild well. Others find that Breath of the Wild influence charming. I have Ubisoft.
I'm so sick of everybody thinking Breath of the something that's got to be copying Breath of the Wild. When y'all gonna realize there was nothing unique about Breath of the Wild? It's just a Zelda game done differently.
Stop it, Enrique. You gonna let him say that, or you gonna make him take it back? What's going on?
Man, look.
Well, look, I mean,
every open world game that has a cartoonish kind of look gotta be Breath of the Wild now.
I got you.
That's true. Like when Genshin Impact, when we first saw that, Breath of the Wild, you know. I mean,
every game has a template that they kind of look like. Like the reason I got interested in Immortal Fenyx Rising is because of when I looked at it, I was like, okay, it kind of has that Breath of the Wild look to it, and I kind of like it. It's open world, and it's something that Ubisoft I have never seen them do before in this type of space. So it got me more interested in it. So I don't think it's anything wrong with kind of comparing, because we call every game a Metroidvania that is literally 2D side scroll.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I mean, as long as it has levels that you have to unlock with skills and puzzles later on, it's Metroidvania.
It's a Metroidvania. So I'm not. That doesn't. I think that's what kind of. I just think that's what Breath of the Wild is, one of those transcending games when it came to Zelda not ever being that way. So when we saw it for the first time, it's going to stand out against any other Zelda game. So any game that kind of goes in that direction, that's just how it's going to be compared to now.
Look, I think people don't mind, although there are Souls fans who get tired of other games being compared, saying it's Souls-esque or Souls-like. I think what I just take not offense to, but I get tired of hearing is that there's usually people, when people bring up a game reminds them of Breath of the Wild, it's always in a derogatory sense. It's always in the, you're copying Breath of the Wild, like Breath of the Wild was original. It's just like, name one original. No, it wasn't. I'm not gonna go down.
It had a lot of original concepts, but the game itself certainly borrowed from many other ones. But then it also did some new things itself as well.
Yeah, it did a lot of new things for the Zelda franchise. I mean, open
for the
world.
Zelda franchise. That's really where it all it did a lot of new.
Well,
things
I mean
for the
that
Zelda
stamina
franchise.
mountain climbing game mechanic that they had, like I love that, and I thought I would see it in more games because like right after I finished Breath of the Wild, I went and played Fallout 4, and I was trying to like climb buildings and shit, and I couldn't. It was like like I have to find a path for how they want me to get up here, and it took me a while to adjust back to regular gameplay mechanics and just not being able to go wherever you want it. And Breath of the Wild, if you can see it, you can get to it. And there's nothing like static about it. Everything is up to you.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is for a lot of people too, because I think Breath of the Wild, that was something that was very unique to that game at that point. And that's in this game. Literally, when you have a stamina where you're climbing stuff, it literally takes it straight out of Breath of the Wild. I
didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's I think it borrows enough things from it. Yeah. It borrows a lot of things from it that makes it kind of just similar to it. But let's be for real, it's a completely different game. It just borrows. I mean, all these games at this point.
I agree with these aren't mutually exclusive things. I understand where he's coming from, and he's right. I'm just saying, don't you add no slander in the process, sir.
Look, I'm not going to slander Breath of the Wild tonight. All right, but I'm just saying that, like, just because maybe there's like one mechanic in the game that they took like inspiration from Breath of the Wild doesn't it's Breath of the Wild, it's the Breath of the Wild clone. Even though, like, say for Genshin Impact, the combat is completely different. And better, if you ask me, but completely different combat. And with, you know what, I really need to reread my email here. I think I can talk about some things about Fenyx Rising.
Don't break NDA. Well, I mean, the reviews are out already. Reviews are out. You're good.
Oh, okay, all right, well, good. Yeah. Well, look, the game does also have that climbing mechanic, but then at the same time, combat is nothing like Breath of the Wild whatsoever.
No, it's not.
The art style, I actually really like the art style. Reminds me of like a Disney film with the way the characters are animated. No, better than that, I would say. As far as art direction goes, the characters look like Disney characters straight up. This is the way they're animated and look. It was really, I was really impressed with that. I was surprised it looked that good. And I think it's very humorous. Like I found myself, I played for about 2.5 hours. I found myself laughing at a lot of different jokes. So like I think people will enjoy this game. I think it's going to be kind of like a little sleeper hit that people will pick up and be like, well, damn, I didn't think it was going to be this good. But it is pretty good, yeah.
Slo-mo, to your point about it being a sleeper hit, I've actually read that in a couple of reviews where people think it's like the surprise title of 2020.
Because it came out of nowhere. Like the name got changed. You know, like no one knew. Like Fenyx Rising, what is this? And it's just like that's the game that used to be Gods and Monsters. And it's like, oh, I mean, like no one's even saw it for the longest time. You just kind of heard about it. So it was pretty surprising. I just saw that they were looking for content creators. I signed up. They said, hey, here you go, and I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, cool. Tried it out, and I like with literally zero expectations or whether it was going to be good or bad. I came out of it pretty impressed. I'm definitely going to finish it.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. I mean, it sounds like the 2 hours you put into it have been well spent. I want to get the super chat real quick from Wraith the Emperor with a $5 super chat. Ray, thank you. So shout out to BRAP, the homie Slo-mo, and one of the greatest in the gaming community, Granddaddy Code.
Okay, I see. All right, player.
It's actually pretty funny. All right, Nick, is this game on your radar, man?
Well, see, here's the thing. It's on my radar, but game prices just went up, and $100 is a lot for a game right now. So I'm waiting till it hits that Ubi Softs.
He's in Canada.
Canada price of
thing. Oh wow, really?
Yeah, we were paying $90 for games when you guys were paying $59.99. Welcome to foreign exchange rates. It sucks.
But y'all probably make more money than we do, right?
Well, I make it all right. But
Okay,
regardless,
Yeah.
Ubisoft has a really big tendency to reduce their games really quickly. You can see that with Watch Dogs Legion dropping down to $30 for Black Friday, just a little bit after launch. So I'm willing to wager my bet and say in a couple of months I'll be able to pick it up for probably half the price that it is right now, and then I'll dive into it. I'm really excited to hear that it doesn't fall back into the Ubisoft tropes of go over here, climb a tower, jump off the tower, go here, climb a tower, jump off the tower, talk to this guy, climb another tower. I'm really glad they're trying to break free of that mold, and I really think that
it definitely doesn't do that at all. Yeah, the storyline is very linear, and there's definitely isn't that whole here's a zone, do all these side quests in the zone. Now the boss of that zone pops his ugly head out of the whatever hole he came from. Kill that boss. Okay, here's a cutscene. Rinse and repeat. It doesn't do that at all. So that's good.
Yeah, and it also looks phenomenally different than a Ubisoft game. And what I mean by that is, like, when I look at Valhalla, I look at Ghost Recon Breakpoint, I look at Watch Dogs Legion, they all kind of look and control kind of the same. And I know that's oversimplifying it to a degree, but they all kind of feel very similar in how they react and how you control them. I really enjoyed Watch Dogs Legion because it did a lot of things differently. But with that being said, it feels very formulaic, and I'm really glad that they threw the formula right out the window for
now,
this
Nick,
game.
I got two things to say to you, sir. One, you want to show with a bunch of black people. You can't use words like formulaic. That's number one. And
Oh my goodness, man.
Don't be trying to clown us.
I know.
Like we don't know what the hell
I
we
know what
talking about.
formulaic means, man.
Yes, Code.
and then two, Nick, and this is a serious question. No cap, no joking around. When you're writing your reviews, because I notice you take them seriously, like what is the line that you draw between your own personal preferences while also trying to remain objective to the content that you're reviewing? Like how do you balance that, or do you not try to balance it?
Well, see, and here's the thing with game reviews. There's things that are objective within a game that you need to portray and tell the audience when they're reading or watching your review. And like the objective things are, how does this game perform? Does this game run well? Does it have bugs? Does it have glitches? Overall performance of the game, as well as, storytelling. What's the introduction of the story? How well is the pacing of the story? That's stuff you can do without putting too much of your personal feelings into it. But the idea that you can make a fully 100% objective review is very robotic and really doesn't get the point across. I usually people kind of get a vibe for a reviewer and what they do. Like, I'm a big heavy FPS guy, so a lot of my reviews are, I do Doom, Dusk, and Medieval, those kind of games. I'll review those, and people will come because they know that's my jam and that's what they want to pay attention to. And my opinions on these things are opinions that they also share, so that's something that interests them. And that's kind of how I always looked at reviews. I don't necessarily go around going to review and going, this is objective, this is objective, this isn't objective. I look for and find a reviewer that speaks to me as in what I like to play, and that's how I consume reviews, and that's how I write my reviews. These are my inherent biases. I'm not a huge fan of third person games, so obviously I'm gonna have a different viewpoint on how I review those games. But everyone knows that heading into it. I think that's really important. That's just me, though.
No, but I appreciate that. That's a good point. But then I guess my question would be, I would modify it, given then that, like, you're new, say like my grandson, he's 15, and all the games he's played up until this point is because I curated them and gave them to him. And I started him with like the Nintendo, and he's worked his way all the way up, and now he's playing like the last generation of games that we just left. And I'm trying to get him a PS5 for Christmas. And he's starting to like choose games on his own, not games that I told him is part of game and history that you have to play. So he doesn't have any reviewers. He doesn't have any favorites or none of that. So, but he's going to start looking at reviews. How does someone, given, like you said, like your people know you, what if you haven't established that yet? Like, how do you view reviews when you're just starting out? Like, if all your people suddenly vanished, how would you find your next group?
So when you read a review, sir, everyone has a style. I think that's what I love about reviews is you really get a cut of who a person is by how they review a game.
Okay.
You know, for example, like as soon as I see a reviewer use the word trash or anything along those lines, I generally go click out of the review, because usually if you use the word trash or this is a dumpster fire, etc., it just means you lack the basic understanding to describe why you don't like the game. And I like people that are very I look for people that are very articulate in how they break down something. I'd rather read a 5,000 word review than a short, brief 800 word review. And that's what I look for. Is I'll click on review. Like I'll go through Metacritic and click a bunch of reviews to read them if I'm not reviewing the game, and just read them through and go, I really like that one. That's someone I'm going to pay attention to. I didn't really like that review. It didn't really resonate with me. And yet you learn the styles that people have. It's not necessarily about the games, because some reviewers will love some games, some reviewers won't. You even saw that with Immortals Fenyx Rising. You had people giving this 10 out of 10s, and you had people giving it 2 out of 5s. It's just what people enjoy, and you need to learn how to separate, you know, this person just doesn't like this game, or this person didn't like this game for this.
But it doesn't mean the game is bad. They just didn't like it.
Exactly. People, it's all the time. It's something I always say. A perfect example is Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a game I did not like, but I will say it's a very good video game. Just because I didn't personally like it and it didn't draw me in doesn't mean it's bad. It inherently means that the game just didn't click with me. And I think with a lot of games, we label them bad because we either don't like something they do or they do something different. And I think people just have a very hard time describing what specifically about those games they don't like.
Awesome. Thank you. Enrique, you can have your show back, sir.
I'm sorry, Cody. I was eating my tacos, man. What was that? Cody, I laugh because I'll tell you, my boy says that shit to me all the time, man. So when you said it to me the first time, I was in tears. Anyhow, I don't want to derail. That's a great point, Nick. Thank you for that insight, man. Definitely appreciate it. So let me ask panel. Anyone else picking up this game? Forte sounds. I think Forte's getting it. Slo-mo is reviewing it. Anybody else on the panel going to pick this game up?
So already paid for.
All right, Forte's paid for. EJ, B Money.
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. It is on my radar to play. It is a game that looks like it's up my alley. But yeah, once I cop the new consoles, then I'll go ahead and grab it.
That game will be beat before Cyberpunk comes out.
Nice. Yes,
that's the goal. Beat before Cyberpunk. Might do the platinum before Cyberpunk.
I hear that, Forte.
Well, not platinum. Because I'm not getting on Xbox.
Yeah.
Dang, that just let you know how much I've been playing Xbox, that I completely just think platinum now because I've been playing PlayStation so much over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I hear you.
I'm going to get it, Enrique, but I'm not getting it because I'm really interested in it, although Slo-mo's words have kind of swayed me a little bit.
Yes.
But I'm getting it because it is so far away from the Ubi Soft formula, and I want to encourage them to take risks and chances. So I want to reward them for trying something new, and I hope I end up liking it.
It reminds me a lot of the old Ubisoft. This is old Ubisoft. This is like before they tried to transfer all their games to open world games, and they all became like the same style game. This is like throwback Ubisoft. So it's not a day one game for me because like I'm not playing anything until Cyberpunk comes out. But like this is perfect for like January, February. I'll pick it up then, and you know what I mean, when everything's kind of slowed down and no big releases. I'll jump into it then.
It's definitely a good like change of pace kind of game. Like you know, from a little bit different from what you're used to playing. And you kind of jump into it, play it for a week, really enjoy it, and then you move on to something else. That's how I kind of really feel it. And like I understand there's some people who think it's. I haven't seen any of the reviews. I don't know what the people are saying, but I'm enjoying it so far.
Reviews look pretty solid, but it kind of just reminds me of like you was saying, like when they would do a game like Beyond Good and Evil.
Yes,
and not turn that into like an MMO of some sort. You know what I'm saying?
Big open world.
But I kind of want them. But I love that game, man. But but that's the kind of stuff that they used to do, man. And they diversified that way. And for a minute, like last gen, it's like they were trying to do some different things when they were doing like Child of Light, games like that.
They did that.
Yeah.
They
did Child of Light.
I thought that was an indie game.
Well, they were trying to tap into, like some of that vibe, and that game has like a nice following. You know, like a lot of people really dug that game. What was the other one they did?
Valiant Heart.
Valiant
Valiant Heart.
And that was and those were two really good games that kind of tapped into like the indie side and them doing some creative things, and they just kind of went away from it. You know, they don't even rock with Rayman like right now.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's right, Rayman. Yeah, wow.
You know,
yeah.
They got that thing where it was like all, you know, people were feeling them on, you know, like their open world style, like you said, go here, clear this out with Far Cry, and then that DNA moved over into Assassin's Creed, and moved over into, you know, Ghost Recon. Yeah, it's like everything.
They
it's
monetize all their games too. That changed everything.
They can start chasing the money.
Yep.
You know, those games that we got so sick of, that Ubisoft formula, it generates more revenue than a game like this. And so, like, I'm really kind of honestly surprised that this game survived the guillotine at Ubisoft from like that the higher ups who are no longer there now. But they only most recently got ousted. This game has been in development for way longer, with them still being in charge. It just kind of shocks me that it was even make, you know, able to make it to this point, because previously those guys, if it wasn't the typical Ubisoft formula, you weren't. If it wasn't a typical Ubisoft formula, if there wasn't a male protagonist, you know, promoted for the most part. You know, a lot of the little things that that's all they cared about seeing is what they wanted in their games, and this you know, it's a little different.
Are there microtransactions in the Slo-mo?
Not that I've seen. Probably are, but there probably are, but I haven't seen any of that so far.
You actually haven't seen a store or anything? Like
no,
real
actually, there is a store. I think I saw it in the menu. I didn't look at it at all because I was too busy looking at other stuff. The menu is very much like the menu of when you put on your gear and stuff like that. It's very like the design of the UI is very much like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, with the way you would like go into the menu and then you would put on your gear, your armor, or your different items or whatever. It's just in a different art style, of course, nowhere near as detailed as it is in Odyssey. But yeah, I could tell they definitely pulled influences from some of their other games, but just it's story wise, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah,
and the combat's good.
Yeah, the thing that really drove me to really want to play the game is after playing the beta, I was like, if this game is anywhere like this beta is, I'm gonna be happy. And then I watched Skillup's I watched his review and he didn't kill it. He actually praised it, and it was being praised for reasons that I liked in the beta. Like, the things I hate about Assassin's Creed games is it just feels like you're being forced to shepherd on to do all of the mundane things in the game that you have to do in order to level up to be competitive in the late game. That's always been a problem with Ubisoft games for me. Far Cry's had it. All the Assassin's Creeds had it. This game is like how I love the Dark Souls type game, the Darksider games, like third person action open world games. You could pretty much go wherever you want to go, but there's really no markers on the game that tell you need to go do this side mission or do this thing. It's like whatever you see in the world, you just go there. If it interests you, you can do it. And that was something that drove me with same thing with Breath of the Wild. It's like
Breath of the Wild.
Yep, they stole it from Breath of the Wild. Like, it's like no markers. It's just if you see something in the world, you go interact with it and you try to do whatever they want you to do in that world. So this game doing that and it being a Ubisoft type game, and that's the one thing I always like, the direction they like to go when it comes to how they flesh out their worlds and stuff. I just don't want all the extra filler. And that beta was like an hour and a half beta, and it was like point A, point B, point C, do these things in between, and you'll progress through the game. And I was like, yo, that was enjoyable. So when I heard that that's pretty much how the whole game plays, and you don't feel like you're being bottlenecked by arbitrary leveling in the game to get to the end game, I was like, oh, I just want a 30-hour campaign that I can enjoy. It doesn't have to be 70 hours like Assassin's Creed or any of these other games that just kind of have bloat just to have bloat in place with it. So that's why I was excited by, especially after hearing what reviewers were saying about it.
Yeah, no, it's, you know, somebody said on the panel earlier that this game is kind of a nice change of pace. You I think one, I'm going to get this game. I did subscribe to Ubisoft's like Ubisoft Play Plus or whatever it's called on PC, so I'll get this game as part of that subscription package. But it does look like that kind of breath of fresh air. Deviates from that Ubisoft formula that some of us have probably gotten tired of the last couple of years. But yeah, it's great to see this kind of content. I think for me the only issue is the release time. That it launches a week before Cyberpunk 2077. It's going to be hard for me at least, to try to get my arms around a new game, especially when I'm in Demon Souls right now, and then jump to Cyberpunk 2077. So, but definitely check it out. I'll definitely check it out in January, February. So,
but Enrique, Cyberpunk has a lot of reading in it, and like, don't you struggle reading?
You know what, Code?
I mean, it's got a lot of text and stuff. I've seen it.
Hey, hang on with me. I want to.
Code, let me just because I'm Latino doesn't mean I can't read.
Darby in the chat, you need to chill out, my dude, man. Like, stop calling people stupid for spending money. Stop pocket watching like that, man.
What's going on? He's
I'm just looking at this dude Jesse Darby in here calling people stupid for what they spend on games. If that man want to spend $400 on games, let that man rock.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
I
true.
didn't mean to be real. I'm just watching.
I mean, look, man. If people want to spend, $70, $100. I mean, who cares?
Hey, yo, I spent a lot of money on that collector's edition for Cyberpunk. Can't anybody tell me shit.
Sir.
Yeah,
I did too. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know a lot of people did. I mean, so yeah. No worries, Z. All right, so Xbox Game Pass December. Wow, I gotta say, this is probably, in my opinion, the best Xbox or Game Pass month for Game Pass. We have so they broke it down into platforms. So for Game Pass, you have Rage 2, which will be on Android, Control Android console, Monster Sanctuary. Let me get to the good games here. Control, Doom Eternal, and Dragon Quest 11. Now, I have been capping for Dragon
Quest. Those are good games according to you, Enrique. That whole list, some of those games on that list might be good games to other people, Enrique. Why you being like that, bro?
Yeah, okay, let me rephrase the game that Enrique likes. Dragon Quest to me is the big. Look, a Dragon Quest is an iconic JRPG franchise, and I think this is when Phil made that announcement that Dragon Quest was going to come to Game Pass this month. I think he made that announcement a couple months ago, maybe this past summer. I don't remember. But when he made that announcement, I was like, wow, that's a big get for Xbox, in my opinion. I think that this is the kind of game that kind of helps kind of round out the portfolio, if you will, of offerings that Xbox has to gamers. That kind of diverse portfolio of games. And I really hope that people give this game a shot. It's I haven't played it yet. It came out on the PlayStation 4. I just never got around to playing it, but it reviewed very well. I think it's Metacritic 92, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Just a great JRPG. I hope people give it a shot. But the fact that this game's dropping on Game Pass this month is just exciting. And then on top of that, you add Control, Doom Eternal, and there's some other ones on there: Greedfall, Call of the Sea, Haven, Super Hot Mind Control, Delete. There's some other ones that I'm not going to go through the whole list, but I just think it's a very solid offering of games for Game Pass this December. Nick, I know you're busy working on some reviews right now, some big ones. Are you interested in any of the offerings this month for Game Pass?
Yeah, so this is the kind of like weird, awkward thing about trying to cover reviews and also playing the stuff I want to play. Unfortunately, I decided to buy Yakuza Like a Dragon on a whim, and woo! I am thoroughly enjoying that. So Dragon Quest 11 shot right up my must-play list, and now I'm sitting there going, oh, I really want to play that, and I'm like, but I already own Control too. I should probably play that. And then I'm like, oh, but Greedfall looks really good too. And then I'm like, oh, and then there's it's gonna be hard. Luckily they'll be in there for a couple of months. Hopefully I'll be able to knock out a bunch of them. But Dragon Quest is gonna be another 100 hours of my life. So yeah, it's exciting. A lot of variety, and I think that's what I kind of like about what they're really focusing on with Xbox Game Pass as a whole is there's something in there for everyone. And like, even if you don't like the service or you'd rather buy the games and everything else, the fact that Dragon Quest XI's on Xbox is such a weird thing if you look back in like 2015, 2016. And like, you know, even the Xbox Series X launching with Yakuza Like a Dragon, it's changing. The times are changing and more people get to play these great games. And that's always a great thing in my book.
Yeah, Microsoft's definitely made some great inroads in getting a lot of Japanese support on Xbox recently, right? With Yakuza, not just Like a Dragon, but the other Yakuza games had finally made their way to the Xbox platform, and now you have Dragon Quest, which is, I keep telling people, I mean, this is a big get for Microsoft. Like, Dragon Quest is huge. It's huge in Japan. It's fairly popular here in North America as well. It's just one of those.
Persona in there, man. They're gonna be really
right. I mean, like
they get now. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, if they get Persona 5 in there, whoo. The question is, will people actually play it?
Well, that's a whole different debate.
I hope they do.
As long as they're alternate, that's the big part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that they are trying to diversify their portfolio more.
Diversify your bonds.
Yeah, because they used to have a lot of variety, and now it's like they wanted to be the FPS online box. And I think that they are going back into this. Demonstrates that they are concerned with offering things for all of their fan base instead of just like 2 or 3 dominant groups that their demographics told them exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I see when I look at this, I kind of see that, you know, that OG early 360.
Yes.
You know, kind of how, you know, like the offerings that they had that made, you know, people feel like they were being a serious player, like, you know, in the whole thing. And honestly, man, I look over them. It's like I hate Game Pass, man.
What?
Hate it.
It's too much stuff, man.
Too much, man. All of it. I mean, because I have my backlog. I have the things I'm trying to play, the new games I'm trying to play, and then they start adding more stuff. I'm like, man, you sons of, I can't. I'm just like, dang,
we gonna add some more hours to the day so I can get to this stuff, man.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Like, literally, there's some stuff I might be like, you know what, this is just, I may never get to this because I want to play this, and you do. And you sometimes you have, you know, that against the clock thing. You want to definitely check it before it leaves Game Pass, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, people can, you know, the debate will go back and forth depending on what tribe you belong to and how you go with that. But you can't.
People say there's no games in Game Pass, so you shouldn't have that problem.
Those are people, you know, like
people don't play the games.
You turn the water hose on, so get the hell out of my lawn, you know. But if you're gonna be a real, like Code like to say, you know, a real gamer, you look at it, you can't look at that and say like it's whack or it's whatever. I mean, it may not be your vibe, you may not want to subscribe. I get that 100%. You know, there's so many subscription models these days. You know, you have to decide where you want to put your dough, but you look at that, you just go, damn, man, you know, there's literally something in there I could probably play like, you know, every week or every month, you know, as I'm rocking, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. And like I had this back and forth with Jez because he was saying, you know, basically PS Now has more value than Game Pass, which I do not agree with that. But I also don't agree that Game Pass has more value than PS Now. It's like, it's too subjective. Each person will have to decide for themselves. And it's not the quantity of games. Like, and that's the thing that cracks me up with like
great point.
Specific guys. They really understand that it's quality over quantity until they compare PS Now to Game Pass. Then they all like just, you know, scramble for the quantity argument. To me, if it's 100 extra games that I don't want, just because there are 300 more unwanted games doesn't make it more valuable. Right. So it's just a notion of the games on this system appeal to me, the games on this subscription system appeal to me, or they don't. The value is going to be up to each person to decide. But I will say, one thing that is in Game Pass's favor is I have Game Pass up to 2023, and I've never paid anything for it except for a penny. So Game Pass doesn't actually cost real money if you got like all your Microsoft points and Surface Pros and like all the points that you get from like just buying shit at the Microsoft store.
Yeah.
I had a ton of points and they all went to Game Pass. So you don't even actually need real money for Game Pass. So it's certainly value in that regard because you get them points right. You can have Game Pass forever.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's the thing, because like that's the difference when people want to like debate this thing about how people feel about Game Pass. Yeah, I think it's a great service, but everybody's case is going to be different.
Yep.
Because if I'm doing it $15 a month, like I do like a Netflix or something, would I be doing that? Is that still a value to me if I'm not hitting any of the games? If I'm just paying it and let it sit, I'm not getting the value anymore.
Right.
Cats like us, you know, we're a couple of years out, you know, because we're gonna pay for live anyway, because we're gonna be in that system to do whatever. So I might, I'm gonna have it anyway, so I might as well rock with it. So that's the brilliance of how they're laying out those plans. But yeah, if you're going month to month and you're paying that 15, that'll make you think a little bit more.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And then on the PS Now part of it, like you said, it's 100% subjective. You know, somebody may look at that and go, that speaks to me more about what I want to play and how I want to go. And that's why I kind of sit back and laugh when dudes say, well, you know, Sony needs to do exactly what they need to. They need to be just like Game Pass. It's like, okay, so on one side, I hear cats say they don't want Microsoft to follow Sony when it comes to game development, but they want Sony to follow Microsoft in the exact same plan, but they don't want them to be the same at all. It's like, well, why don't you let one of them kind of, you know, maybe Sony can see something that Game Pass is doing that they say, you know what, that's cool. We're going to take that part of this and do this, and we're going to make our own thing. And now you're going to be like, damn, I didn't even think about it like that.
Exactly.
Like, well, they have to put their games in the day and date to make it a value to me. No, not really. Like I said, if they get to a point where Game Pass is just punching them in the mouth, the market will dictate and they'll adjust accordingly. As of right now, they don't have to do that. They don't have anything anecdotal that shows them we have to do that. But we may do something that kind of, you know, mirrors it, just like when they started offering those free games and play in PS Plus. And Microsoft was, oh shit, we'll do the same thing.
And remember, Sony brass have said they do have a response for Game Pass, and they do. I can't really talk about it, but they certainly
Code
Sony fan base is going to be happy with what they've come up with.
Code, you can't tease us like that, man.
I'm not teasing. I'm just saying the PlayStation fan base will be.
No
happy.
regular life to run to Twitter with a juicy nugget.
No.
Hey, as long as Code's saying that people gonna be happy, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's all that
they're gonna
matters.
be happy for real.
Yeah,
and that's how I look at it. I don't need them to mirror each other exactly. I don't need everything day in day. I say,
good job, EJ.
If you have a different idea, show me that. Give me something I was like, ooh, I didn't see that coming. That's exciting to me. Not saying, yep, we're gonna do the exact same way. I mean, maybe you will, and it's like whatever. You know, I'm gonna buy the games anyway, but I'm gonna be in the services anyway. But if you have something that's different, you say, hey, that's and that's the thing. Art imitates life, just like we talked about the Breath of the Wild thing. Good ideas are good ideas, and companies swagger jack each other all day long.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So,
Code.
Yeah, I'll piggyback in. I'll piggyback in on that, because the one thing I think that I find most annoying in the whole Xbox versus PlayStation conversation on a regular basis is, well, Xbox does this, so PlayStation needs to do this, or since PlayStation does this, Xbox needs to do this. I really don't want them doing the same things. That's what I really hated about the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 generation. Is like, yeah, they had their own set of exclusives that kind of made them unique, but outside of those few games, there wasn't anything that was really unique to the platform. I kind of liked about the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One is Microsoft was doing their own little thing and PlayStation was doing their own thing, and I appreciate both sides of it. Like, I appreciate Microsoft's Game Pass initiative and how they're marketing their games. I appreciate Sony with the focus on the AAA experience and their dedication to that level of quality. And I just don't want them to cross over and keep doing each other's, like, I don't need them to do the same thing. I want them to be radically different because it makes my purchase valuable. That's what Nintendo's been doing. Like, everyone laughed at Nintendo when they said, we're not competing with Xbox and PlayStation anymore. People are like, oh, that's stupid. Why would they do that? I don't know. Look at the Switch. It's on a better sales trajectory than the PlayStation 4 right now. It's because they're doing something Xbox and PlayStation aren't doing. And that's what makes them unique, which makes the hardware a must-own hardware. And that's what I want PlayStation and Xbox to keep doing. Give me unique reasons to play within your ecosystem. Don't just copy and paste each other's ideas on paper.
Yeah, we don't need redundant boxes sitting next to each other.
Right.
Facts. I mean, some stuff, Nick, I hope you would agree, some stuff is just so ubiquitous that you kind of need to have, for example, voice chat, or like some things they need to exist everywhere. But then you're right. Other than exclusive, what else about your platform is unique? I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Like DualSense controller? Anyone?
Man.
Yo,
What's your opinion on the DualSense, Nick?
I do not have one because Canada was allocated 3 PS5s apparently. I am hoping beyond hope that I will luck out like Slo-mo and I will get one from Bed Bath and Beyond.
Try AutoZone.
AutoZone, yeah, man. That might actually happen. You never know, man. JC Penney's for the win.
It was like everybody trying to get on the PS5 game. They're like,
but like really seriously, like I really feel like the only reason why I got one is that the Scalpers had zero idea that Kohl's would want to sell a PlayStation 5. Like they just weren't.
They would.
Exactly. And so they just weren't even looking. So you at this point you have to start looking at places that don't typically buy or don't typically sell video games or technology or like natural
Home Depot, baby. Home Depot gonna come through.
Yeah, exactly. Home Depot, man.
You're preaching facts. Literally, my friend came up to me. I just dropped like $500 on a monitor. I was like, this was a good decision. I need a new monitor for these new consoles. And my buddy comes up to me at work and he's like, hey, my girl works down at the pharmacy and they're getting PS5 allocations and employees will get first dibs. You want one? I'm like, hold on. Your pharmacy's getting PlayStation 5 allocations? Pardon me? Yeah, I'll get my prescription. One PS5, please, with Miles Morales. Thank you. But yeah, it's getting wild. You got to think outside the box now.
Yeah.
Yo, Ryan said he checking Supercuts right now.
Yeah, man. Like I bought mine from Lens Crafters.
Lens Crafters. I got mine. I got a PS5.
Hey, don't forget Red Lobster. Get some of them biscuits and a PS5. You good?
Yeah, for real, man.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. OBM said only way I'll find one is that Chipotle sells them, and you never know. Maybe I might get a burrito and a PS5.
AutoZone
or AutoZone, like Code said.
Yeah, man. Ryan Landis said he's checking Supercuts right now, man. Hey, look, get a PS5 and a haircut. You can't beat that. That's the bundle. But you know what? The bundles are low key, like the retailers are really taking advantage of the situation. They know there's like low inventory. Instead of just selling the PlayStation 5, they're like, wait a minute, hold up. This is our chance to unload of all of this crap we got that we can't sell.
Facts.
The margin.
Man, I had a guy, he's in Sweden, and he told me, he said they had some in store. So he went there and they're like, well, you only have to get it with a bundle. So he looked at the bundle and they was like, okay, well, they make you get another controller and the charging station. And he was like, okay, well, I can see myself getting that. So, okay, sure. Then they force you to get the Pulse 3D headset. Like, well, I already got a headset, but yeah, I could use that as well. So, okay, sure. Then they made you get 2 games. Of those 2 games, he didn't really want them, but he was like, yeah, okay. I mean, I could find myself in a plan, I'm so sure. He said, and then the ambassador said, and you have to get this 55-inch 4K TV. And he was like, are you serious? And while he was standing there like mad, trying to figure out what to do, they sold out because other people were buying them and was willing to buy them. And he was pissed. And we were chatting, right? Because I was on PS5 and he on PS4. And we was in the chat. He was telling me about it, man. I couldn't even like play my game. I was laughing so hard. And he was like, he would really like maybe was gonna do it, but it slowed down. Wow, he was thinking about it. It was hilarious.
Wow. That's the same thing happened to me when GameStop came out with their bundles, and I was looking at their bundles. They were like, they started at like $680, then it was like $740, and then the highest was like $800. And I was just like, what? And I'm looking at the bundles, and it's just like, they just like find whatever they could and just threw it in a box and was like, this is it. It was some trash headset I never heard of. It was like all kinds of stuff, and I was just like, "Who wants any of this?"
I think QVC had the worst one, Slo-mo. QVC had like all this off-brand like merchandise that they were throwing in there.
Lotions and
it was like $900
Lotion.
for the bundle. I'm like, are y'all serious right now?
Yeah, no, for real. You want to talk about that? I was looking at it because my EB Games called me and they're like, "Oh, we're restocking PS5s just before the holidays." I'm like, "Sick." They're like, "Yeah, but we're only doing bundles." I'm like, "All right, I'm probably gonna use most of the stuff anyway." So, how much do the bundles start at? They're like, "Oh, well, the PlayStation 5 Next Generation Jumpstart bundles $959." I'm like, "Nope." They're like, "But it comes with 2 controllers and Spider-Man," and I'm like, "No." No, I don't care.
With all the stuff that there is excess PlayStation 5 accessory inventory for. I've seen so many bundles have that remote in it that no one cares about.
Exactly.
The additional DualSense controller. The DualSense controller is an amazing controller, but you can buy one anywhere. Literally, you can walk into any place and just get one. Target, Walmart, anywhere. That everyone has a DualSense controller. It seems to be the only thing that Sony was able to make in abundance this year. Yeah, and it's just like anything that is. If you still see it up on PS Direct, every single bundle that's going to be out there from a retailer is going to package it in because it just seems like there's excess of it. But that Pulse 3D headset, that's almost as difficult to get as the PlayStation 5 at this point.
It is.
I'm lucky I was able to get one. I got that before I got the PlayStation. It was crazy.
Man, I didn't even want one, and now I do, and I can't find it.
Right. Yeah. That HD camera, I feel like I tripped over 5 HD cameras going to my mailbox and back this morning. It's just like the HD camera is everywhere.
I got one of them.
That was a hard thing to find on PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Those cameras were tough to find on PS4.
Yeah. Well, the novelty is worn off because nobody want this one. That HD camera is everywhere.
I heard the charging station, it can be hard to find it off and on.
Yeah. It took me a while to finally get the charging station. I got it from GameStop finally. I had to keep checking in with Wario 64 on that one. We were able to get that one. But shout out to Wario, man, taking on heat. Wario got verified cats. Wario can't even post anything, man. He's like, yeah, we got, My Little Pony games. What about the PS5, dog?
Right.
What is this shit? We following you for the PS5. Where the PS5 at? He like, 1, I can't make these, okay?
Yeah.
2, I was tweeting these other games before you losers started following me.
Right.
So, I'm just going to keep being me.
When are y'all getting more PlayStations in store where you can actually come in and get one?
Probably not to the beginning of the year.
Oh wow. Okay. What about online then?
Online, that's the only place you can get them at the moment.
And when are y'all gonna have more in stock?
It's random. We find out an hour before they post them.
Really?
In store.
Wow.
Well, man, you got to DM me the next time y'all get some, man.
So
wait, I'll DM you.
Forte, are you guys are getting some more in though physical in store, right?
I doubt it.
Wow. So you guys are gonna be sold out through the holidays then?
More than likely. I think Black Friday was the last great day for a person to walk in the store and get one.
Wow. Because I thought I heard Sony was is sending out more inventory out for the holidays.
It's not like they don't have them either. It's like because I had to do a warranty exchange for one, so I emailed to get a replacement, and they responded
they have them
2 hours and said, "Okay, we're shipping it out tomorrow."
Yeah, so I imagine they have like a certain amount.
They have a certain I mean, you got to think all these stores, all these retailers, they have stock. They just put them up at just random times to, maybe to throw bots off because they're not posting like that. But on top of that, they just want to keep this euphoria of trying to find one up. The more people can't find them this holiday, trust me, the demand ain't gonna die down after the holiday. It's just gonna be disappointed people going into Christmas that they couldn't find them for themselves or their kids and family members. It's just gonna spill over into next year, and don't be surprised if a lot of these retailers start holding a lot of their stock to the beginning of next year, because we all know the holiday season is usually the biggest time of year, but they know a lot of people have money going into the beginning of the year because now you're talking about tax season and all this other stuff. Yep. they want to start, they want to make profit at that time. And this is a really good opportunity for them to sell those bundles online, get their numbers up before the physical year is up. For most of these companies, is anywhere from February to, end of March, maybe beginning of May. And, make their fourth quarter numbers look better than they actually probably are, So I think it's going to be very scarce finding those things. And the fact that Best Buy already said that you will not be able to walk into a store the rest of this year and get one kind of lets you know what the situation is. They said everything's going to be online at this point. So GameStop hasn't said that, but I just have a feeling that I don't think you'll be able to walk into a store and get one anymore.
And honestly, man, I'd be nervous about like the shipping aspect of it nowadays because you're hearing stories where, UPS and FedEx dudes risking it all.
Oh,
they are.
I talked to the UPS lady today because I shipped out. Shout out to the Iron Lords. Somebody won the Destiny giveaway, so because I had it pre-ordered at my store and I shipped it out to him today. But I shipped out my best friend. I shipped him out an Xbox 2 days ago. I got him one of the Black Friday ones. And I shipped it to him. And when I was talking to the lady today, I said, he got it. He was super happy. He was nervous thinking it was going to disappear at UPS. And the lady up at UPS said, yeah, that's been an issue. I was like, I said, this didn't happen over the UK. We ain't the UK. He was like, nah, son, that happens here. He's like, people literally are taking people's packages off their porches. They're having issues with drivers having empty boxes where they deliver them because people open up their boxes while they're there and there's nothing inside of it, or it's not what the product was supposed to be. So it's a known.
That's happening everywhere.
It's a known issue, and they said it's a huge. I told him, I said, well, he was happy that his Xbox was in the box.
You know how that's a problem too, because especially in the holiday season, you have like the postal deliveries and everything. They hire seasonal help.
Yeah,
a lot of these people, they're not like on like
right. They ain't got a lot to lose.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm out. You know what?
Look, to something. I work in distribution, so this is my jam, so to speak. And let me tell you, supply chains right now, because we went through such a rush transitioning, because everyone went home, everyone got sent home, everyone's been quarantining and whatnot, everyone's buying everything online. So we were doing Christmas numbers in August. And now we're heading into actual Christmas. We're locked down back where I am. I had a skid of PS5s delivered to my work by accident because they dropped it off and they're like, here, sign for this. I signed for it. I looked over. I'm like, those are PlayStation 5s. They were for a Best Buy for launch. We had a skid of PlayStation 5s on launch day that were supposed to go to customers, but they delivered it to our address. So I ended up having to do 5 hours of paperwork. We had to do stock counts and everything else. I'm a utility company, and they shipped it to us instead of Best Buy. That's how messed up the supply.
One less in the ship.
Just imagine how many companies got that and they never showed up.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like how many people will have been like, "Oh, you never dropped that skid off because once you sign for it, it's ours." So that went missing. But
that's crazy,
and that's the thing is like those kind of errors happen, and with everyone busting ass, like most supply chain workers right now, most of the guys I work with, we're working like 50, 60-hour weeks to get stuff out for Christmas and holiday season. Like people are stressed to the nines on this. So mistakes are going to happen. People are going to risk it to, get their little Jimmy a PS5 in time for the holidays. It's a tough time out there for everybody.
Yeah. I had the eyeglass place.
With distribution, what you mean? You sell cocaine? Like, what do you mean?
Oh, wow. Really?
There's no code.
Code is.
I can neither confirm or deny. We're moving on.
I had to do a pickup at Walmart earlier, and they have like a separate section for the Black Friday pickup stuff versus like regular store pickup stuff. And and I was laughing with the lady because they had the cage like locked up, like major bolt on the cage. There was like 2 PS5s in there and about 4 Series X's. I was like, that's the hot commodity cage, huh? She goes, yeah, we don't take our eye out that cage for nothing because it's just where they have it sitting. She said, it's crazy.
Wow.
And it's getting so bad. It's getting so bad out here for PS5. We actually had 2 guys get murdered over PlayStation 5s, like 2 scalpers get murdered, like street shot over crazy, scalpers. Man. It's to the point where like the police department had to put out a notice going, hey, if you're selling a PlayStation 5 on a Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji or wherever you're selling it through, make sure you're in a well-lit area. You can sell them outside the police department. It's fine. They had to put out a whole notice because like 15 people got robbed scalping PS5s, which, you know,
That's
karma
wild.
sorts itself out. But
You
live by the scalp, you die by the scalp. That's the code of the holiday season. This shit. I mean, I you know, condolences to those who died. Although, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I don't care about these people. That's mean. That's really mean. But
You don't care about
advantage
Slo-mo.
of these. Look, I don't care about this. At least I'm trying my best to care. I don't. You know, like I don't look. I never want to see anybody get shot dead or killed or stabbed or whatever. But it's just like, yo, you kind of put yourself in this situation ish. So yeah, I don't know. You know, it's,
Come on, man. That's
maybe
terrible.
maybe don't scalp. Look. It's not like okay. Yeah.
All right,
let's try to clean it up.
Yeah, let's transition here a little bit. Let's transition here. You guys hear this rumor? And I just read this today. According to a quote unquote Sony patent, that this patent apparently describes a scalable game console where a second GPU is communicatively coupled to the first GPU, and that the system is for the home console and cloud gaming usage. Now, people are speculating this is the PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm going to go to you with this first, Optimus Code, given your background, expertise, experience. What do you think? Is this the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 Pro code?
We really doing this?
Man,
Yeah,
I don't know.
We're speculating.
And I don't care.
We really doing this? I'm about to block you, dog.
Right, man, I don't even know how to read
Yeah, I don't even want to do this.
It hasn't even been a month since these new consoles have been out.
Right.
And here we are.
Yeah, this is according to a Sony patent.
I mean, this is an old patent though. This I think it was from like last year.
Yeah, it was filed last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, people like Leviathan and like different people on Twitter, like Red Gaming Tech, they'll be DMing me like, "Hey, read this patent." I'm like, and I can't read that shit. Like, I don't understand how to read all of that stuff. Like, y'all got to read it and explain it to me. So, any type of patent talk, you can just leave me out of it because I do not know. Somebody got to put it in layman's terms for me.
is this like the little Sony robot we were supposed to get too that was gonna like cuddle you and tell you it was okay to be about your feelings? Because like, and also I also want to point out the fact too, the site that put this out, TM3.
Yeah.
Shout out to them because they are also the ones that claim to have broken the fact that PlayStation's going to reveal a portable called the PSP 5G, which is possibly one of the dumbest things I've ever seen made. And this article was openly mocked by just about everyone. So and also people running with this too. Stop. Some of us don't even have PlayStation 5s yet. You can't even find this shit on the shelf. And we're talking about pro consoles? Shut up.
Yeah.
Just stop.
That's
I'm blocking everybody.
Yeah.
This
I'm like,
doesn't need to be a conversation until like 2023 at the earliest. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It was actually, this topic was trending on Twitter. And that's why I brought up, I was like, wait a minute, like what? And then
the bubble is stupid, man. The bubble can never just chill out for a minute. This is all they do all day long.
But you know, when you see patents, people are like, oh, wait a minute.
You don't even know how to spell patent.
Code doesn't know how to read them. People apparently go to him. Wow. Yeah, I thought it was. I was like, this is a little bit too premature to start talking about PlayStation 5 Pro and what this patent may or may not actually mean. You know, this thing may not even come to fruition, right? How many times do companies file patents and then nothing happens with those said patents?
Right.
Look,
they
like
file
this,
it, they sit on it until
Exactly.
until like the market changes
Right.
and they realize that, hey, like we might actually be able to make some money off of that thing that we made 6 years ago. You know, this stuff happens all the time.
And R&D is always going on, even before the current thing even ships. The R&D for the next stuff is already like being like played out. It's just, man, people just they just dig too much, man. Yep. You know, and I think it's that 24-hour news cycle, that social media thing is like we always got to be talking about the next thing.
That's exactly what it is, man. Well, you know, I mean, that's and you know, it's the whole that's kind of the media cycle right now. It's like, every little thing is an article now, right? It could be like, did you know that if you spill water on your PlayStation 5 DualSense, it might not work? Somebody will put an article on that. Like, like that's, like that's the kind of shit you see right now.
Yeah, well, look at it. Jim Ryan or Phil Spencer do an interview. That's 30 articles with a different sentence as the headline for a week.
True.
Do not forget, in 2017, when the Nintendo Switch came out, there was a man who hit the news cycle for a week because he rammed a Joy-Con up his arse. Okay, like the news cycle is not above anything to generate clicks. Nobody is above anything to generate clicks.
Oh my
God! And they've been talking about the Switch Pro literally all year, and Nintendo
all year.
Has said
I've been hearing about the goddamn Switch Pro since the goddamn Switch came out because people are like, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if the Switch did 4K?" And I'm just like, "Shut up! Just shut up."
There might actually be a Switch Pro, just an FYI.
Oh yeah,
of course there definitely is going to be, but it's like,
well, now's the time to talk about a Switch Pro. That's been out for what?
Since 2017.
So right? Yeah, we can talk. I'm okay with talking about a Switch Pro at this point, but a PS5 Pro, a Series X, what? No. We just got over all this damn teraflop GPU. No.
Imagine if there was dual GPUs. E.
I don't give a damn, man.
People talk about, we got dual GPUs.
Like Slo-mo just said, and people don't even, or whoever said, people don't even have one yet. And people are already ready to move on and start talking about the next thing. This shit is stupid, man.
Yeah. I've seen stuff like I didn't look into this whole PS5 Pro thing because as soon as I saw it trending, I was like, nope. And then I saw a snippet of someone saying dual GPUs, and I like literally spit my water out laughing. There is no freaking way. First of all, like anyone hold on, all right, calm down. These consoles don't have discrete GPUs, okay? They're using APUs, SoC socks. They're not using discrete GPUs. So the whole idea of like dual GPUs, like you will see in someone's, built themselves actual ATX build PC it's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. And then like stuff like with the Switch Pro, like I've seen people talk about the Switch Pro and they're talking about AMD, and I'm like, okay, clearly this is a whack, nothing rumor. Nintendo doesn't work with AMD; they work with Nvidia. Nvidia did their helped them with the Switch. If they're going forward with a Switch Pro, they're probably going to work with Nvidia again, as they already have a prior working relationship, the same way AMD continues to work with Sony and Microsoft. It's just like, what?
Well, you see, if you just lie about shit and your audience never holds you accountable, you can get away with fucking anything.
Gee, where have I seen that?
Of it.
Pretty much.
Where have I seen that before? In the U.S. Lying, no accountability. I wonder. Anyhow,
oh man, I'm gonna drop a video tomorrow saying Atari's coming back to the industry with a new console. Intel was making it.
With it, it's gonna be a 3080 Ti killer,
and it's a handheld.
And it's a handheld.
Right.
And it makes a mean cappuccino.
Set your hands on fire.
You gotta wear gloves. It's so hot. Oh my god! And people will probably run with it, Slo-mo. That's the sad part.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Slo-mo just broke the new Atari. They actually did release a console, though. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Wait, recently?
Did they release it, or was it still being talked about?
No, I think it was recently. They it was like $400.
Years, I hear Atari's going to release a console, and then I never actually see any actual hardware like ever shown or produced or whatever. Not even a concept of what the actual box would look like. I've never seen one. I never used to make consoles, but like in the past 2 decades, nah.
Yeah, they had like the wood grain, the old school wood grain. I got to look it up. I think it may have released maybe already. It was like $400. It wasn't cheap. I was kind of surprised by that.
What? Are you serious, Enrique?
No, like 100% serious. You could get like an Xbox Series S for $100 cheaper, or a PlayStation 5 all digital for the same price as the new Atari console. And they're like, yeah, this will sell.
I gotta look this up. I
was just looking it up.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, in television, they did a new console too. I forget what it's called. Can't
think of the name of it.
The Amiga?
The Amiga, right?
The Amiga,
yeah.
Is it called the Onyx?
That sounds familiar.
Maybe. Tell you, people don't know about wood grain consoles. Those things were fire back in the days.
Yeah, like Ryan said, the Amiga.
$400 at GameStop? Hey, yo, Forte, hold up. Forte.
Hey, wait, you found it? You found the Atari?
Yeah. It says $400, $399.99 GameStop. Yo, Forte, what
yes.
You guys sell an Atari system?
Yes.
Well, he said, he asked, do you sell an Atari system? Have you sold an Atari system?
I've sold 3 of them before.
Word.
Yeah, I have. I mean, you got to think. There's people. I mean, a lot of that stuff is like collector item stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. It's got to be like.
Okay, that's true.
I'm only getting it because it's a collector's item.
It's just like the people that buy the 1-up arcades and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, do you really need it? No. I mean, it makes your background and your videos look really good when you got one back there. So,
yeah, right.
Because that's literally what I see most people do.
Cabinet. Yeah,
nice aesthetic in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about buying a couple because we get a nice little discount and stuff on them, and I was thinking about getting a couple of them. But it's like most of the people that bought those not the arcades, but the Ataris, were people that just like collect it's something Atari and kind of just brings back old memories, even if it's not the original form factor. And they just
it's a collector's item. People pick it up just to say, like, I own all. Like they be kind of people that would buy like those other completely irrelevant consoles.
Yeah, I think it's a GameStop exclusive too.
Is it?
I think it's exclusively only at GameStop. You can only get it there.
Yeah, it's
$3.99. Neo Geo console handheld unit a few years back.
I mean, it's I don't know. Well,
it's a nice looking system.
No, it looks modern. It's like a modern take on the 2600, the classic.
That controller reminds me of the old school original Xbox S controller, the one that came out after the Duke. That's what it kind of
controller S.
like.
Yep.
What games does it have in it though? Probably. I mean,
the
well, you're gonna get Atari Pass with it.
You get Atari Pass.
Atari Pass is going to give you 13 different versions of ET, and somehow they managed to port Superman 64 over.
Well, you know, those it's not out yet either. It's not out yet either, so it's only pre-orderable right now.
I thought you said you sold 4 already. People.
I have them I have 4 pre-ordered and paid off.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
They just haven't picked them up. It hasn't come out yet.
Jesus.
This article I just linked you guys says that it's coming out. It was supposed to come out last month in November.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out November 27th.
It got they sent us an email.
It got delayed. Really?
They sent us an email 6 weeks ago telling people to call them and contact them, telling them it was delayed by a month.
They can't launch against PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. That's just.
Does it not have a disc drive? Because I don't see.
No, it looks like
they made one before they had 3 pre-orders, so they ran into a problem.
Hey, speaking of launches, apparently PlayStation 5 is breaking sales records. The UK, the PlayStation 5 is the fastest selling launch console there, beating the PlayStation 4. I can't say I'm surprised by that. Good for Sony.
I'm not surprised by it for the simple fact that there's more people playing games now.
Yeah.
Yo, this Atari has a Ryzen CPU.
It sure does. It sure does.
Oh.
That's why it was delayed so long, because it was supposed to come out earlier in the year.
It's only 8 gigs of RAM though. What? All right.
Let's see this. What? How many teraflops? Teraflops are important.
Oh yeah, that's the most important number. I mean, if it's not above 10 teraflops, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's got 8 gigabytes of DD4 storage, internal flash 32 gig.
That's
upgradable up to 1 terabyte.
Games,
M2 dot drive, USB storage device. It's got a Ryzen 3.
How fast does your system need to be to run those games now?
Yeah, not fast at all. The GPU is a Vega 3 APU.
Mm-hmm. All in one.
Yeah.
And who's developing games for it?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out.
Nobody.
It's driven by Linux operating system.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Burger King games.
What?
Yeah. Hey, so it only allows players to download games from external websites or install through storage media such as SD cards. The Atari VCS will have a custom storefront that Atari developed with an undisclosed leading industry partner, probably Microsoft, because Game Pass is going to be on Atari.
How did Game Pass is on that?
What if Game Pass is on that? Right? Shit.
Why?
It costs more. At that point, just buy
it would cost them
an S.
It will cost them more in the meetings with Atari.
Said more in the meeting,
and actually trying to make it work to put Game Pass on that than what they would get the return in revenue they would get out of it, because no one's going to buy that thing except for collectors who just want to collect every piece of garbage that gets released as a video game console. So,
see, what y'all don't realize is when you pull the mask off this Atari, it's really an Ouya. Do shit.
No.
Google
Stadia is the new Ouya. Come on now.
Wow. Is Google Stadia still a thing? Is it so?
Well, they gave it away with YouTube Premium because we promised it's not failing.
Yeah. And it's
5 people with YouTube Premium got that.
Oh my God.
I was like, I said YouTube. No, I'm still not signing up for YouTube Premium.
Yeah, this thing looks interesting. This thing looks interesting. I'd be interested to see who I wonder who this partner is. The secret partner, industry leader.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out the Video Game Awards.
Right? Atari with the mic drop moment at the Video Game Awards.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, guys, real quick. Let's get some Metacritic predictions for Cyberpunk 2077. I'll go with Nick.
Man.
What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, Nick, you go first.
Yeah, you go first, Nick. Can you give us a prediction?
Y'all are motherfuckers. I'm gonna say 90 if I was gonna put a Metacritic prediction on there, and I'm not on Metacritic for the record.
All right, 90. All right, let's go with Optimus Code.
95.
95. All right, we'll go with Gaming Forte.
That's interesting. 93.
Ooh.
All right. B Money.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Forte, man. 93.
All right. EJ.
How come everybody's picking like 90s and 90s and up?
Hey, man.
Because if it's not a 90, we got a problem.
We got serious problems.
We got serious problems with this game in a 90.
All right, just to be contrary, I'm gonna say it's gonna be like an 85.
Do you really believe that?
He's 85. You don't believe that, though.
You don't believe that.
I mean, I don't really care about the meta like that, so I'm just,
it's a prediction, man. It's a prediction.
I'm not playing the game.
Question what you think is going to be versus what you just want to be contrarian.
I'm not playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think 85 for real.
Okay, and I'm gonna look at you side eye when that thing's 8 points higher than what you said.
Hey, real quick, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If we're gonna go up, I'm good with that. If we go below 85, we got problems.
We got a problem below 90.
I think we got a problem.
We go below 80. If we go above 85, they cap it.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I want to give a congratulations to Pick Infusion, who got the code again. Hey, Pick it next week, bro. You can't participate in the code, man. You get the code every week. I think there's a third or fourth week in a row now.
That's because he got his browsers open, ready for his browser.
He ready to go,
I'm gonna leave the show for a couple weeks so I can get a code.
He's trying to buy his PlayStation 5 off VK9, man.
I know, right?
Like, the whole thing.
Hey, I appreciate the support, Picky, man. We got to let some other people in the live chat with it, man.
Hey, man. Hey, they sleeping.
They sleeping. They know.
Yeah. Daniel Wynn says 5th week in a row.
Oh my God, man! How much you been giving away? It's like $100 worth.
Yeah, he's already got a game easily.
Yeah, man. See, they out here slipping. You can't knock that man hustle.
Man, he's like the Jennings dude on Jeopardy. Can't nobody knock him off.
Right. He just playing the game. He playing the actual game. They ain't even if you ain't playing, if you don't even try to play the game, you deserve to lose.
No, I got Daniel's been trying to get it for like 5 weeks. He's like, yo, what's up?
Ryan, you guys don't see any possible world where Cyberpunk could be like an 85.
I see a possible world. It's just a world I don't believe in.
You know what I think's weird about that game? That there's such emphasis on customizing your character, but it's in first person.
That you'll never see. Well, you can you'll see it in mirrors, though. You know, the ray tracing is going to really.
I mean,
the ray tracing is going to stand out when ray tracing has nothing to do with your reflection.
Look at the reflection. It's like Destiny for me. You know what I mean? You play in first person.
What?
Oh,
like
yeah,
Destiny,
you're right.
You play in first person for the most part. You see your character when you're in the home base.
That's true.
That's
man.
true.
Yeah, that's true.
You do all that customization, put all that armor on and shit. Try to match all your colors up. And
but other people can see you though.
That's true.
Like other people see you live. Where like this is single player. No one's gonna be.
Hey, when I'm playing the game, I don't care what other people look. I don't care if they look.
You don't care about other men's appearance.
No, I don't.
I feel you.
I don't play the game for that.
How much money you spend on 2K for outfits?
Well, I don't buy outfits.
How many pairs of Jordans you bought in that game?
A lot.
Oh, well, I'm just you know.
Hey man, that's for my personal.
Oh,
life. Stop this, Forte.
Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with nobody else.
Man, this BRAP, man. Leave me alone when I'm working. But seriously, when it comes to this Cyberpunk thing, I really truly believe it's going to get a 9. I think it's going to get a 96, but I got to say 93 because I do think a lot of reviewers are going to be so hyped to finally get a chance to play this game that in some instances the score might be downgraded a little bit just because of the hype isn't going to match up to exactly what they were expecting with the game. And it's not going to be it's not going to be the majority. I just think there's going to be some reviewers out there that's going to happen to.
Can I do my score?
What was the last big RPG we got?
Last big one?
Yeah.
Define big because
Final Fantasy probably.
Persona 5 Royale?
Was that big?
Final Fantasy?
Yeah, Final Fantasy was
that's pretty huge.
World like Western RPG.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say Persona 5.
I would say Persona if you want to say overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that scored pretty.
Wait, Persona, but you said Western RPG, right?
RPG.
Yeah,
RPG or RPG period.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might have to go back all the way to Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going Western
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah, it'd be Dragon Age. And that was
Underworlds technically.
Yeah.
But that was like done on a AA budget. I mean, was it
still released?
I mean,
he said big RPG.
Yeah, I wouldn't classify it as a big RPG.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
I mean, I definitely will be that, but
okay, we just went down a rabbit hole. Code, what are you getting at?
Oh, nothing. I was just nothing.
So you just threw a bone out there to see if the dogs will fight over it?
No, I don't want no trouble.
Okay.
He said, I don't want to. All right, so wait, we got Metacritic from E. Did we get yours, B?
Yeah, mine's 93, man.
All right, and then we gotta get Slo-mo then.
All right, so what's the highest so far?
Oh God,
somebody
95.
95. I'm gonna go the Price is Right method. I'm gonna go 96.
No, you're supposed to say 1.
Yeah, what?
And 1.
Well, he thinks it's gonna be. I think he thinks it's gonna be higher than an 85, so he would lose if he was 1.
Look, no, I think it's gonna be. I think. Look, some of these. Let me not say it. How I'm gonna say this here. Some developers it doesn't matter what they do or how many mistakes they make. It is really, really, really hard for them to not hit, like to have a miss. And I think CD Projekt Red right now is in at that level. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like a 96, 97.
I just think they outclass everybody in the RPG market.
I do too.
And that's why it's
Witcher 3 while we tripping.
What did Witcher 3 come in at?
92 or 93.
92, 93. But it launched
and that
buggy,
was the
though.
buggy mess.
It was buggy as shit.
It launched-
You
got a
know
93
this
and a
one's
buggy
going to be
mess.
a buggy mess when it comes out. Like I can't wait to see the bug.
No one should expect this game to be working well at launch.
I don't know. Undead, can you speak on that?
No, he cannot.
Can you speak on the bugginess of this game? Is there a day one patch day one that we need to know
Forte,
about?
you know he can't answer
Well,
that.
we know from because there was PS4 copies have been sent out early. We
this
do
is
know
true.
there's a 56 gigabyte day one patch for Cyberpunk 20.
See, look, he found a loophole. That's what I'm talking about.
Big,
Yeah,
That's
they
a
built
loophole.
a whole new
Let's
game
go.
for day one. That's what they sound like.
A whole new game.
Can you talk about what? Can you tell what system you're reviewing it on?
I know nothing.
Here's the thing too. Is like I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk. I'm not gonna play until the next gen release happens because I just kind of feel like those OG Xboxes, those PS4 bases, and all that stuff that's gonna come into play. And I say 85 because I'm just gonna hedge my bet on that because I know this game is so big that there'll be a certain amount of capping that goes on with it because there'll be people who have staked their claim on this game, and if it's not living up to what they want, they might still throw out, the bump.
Hey Nick, let me ask you this: like for the review, I don't know if you can answer this or not, but do you have to play all three like lifestyles?
No, no review. I've never seen a review NDA except for one from PlayStation that required you to play up to a certain point in a game.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
oh, for the Last of Us Part 2?
Yeah, I believe Last of Us Part 2, you weren't allowed to talk about story beats past the first 2 hours of the game, I believe.
So you were
along
able to
those
talk
lines.
about the game, basically.
I did not get review copies, but I did get a copy of the NDA for The Last of Us Part 2. So I can talk about that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. The NDA in Fenyx Rising. I guess I can say this now since reviews are out. Like I couldn't, if I would have got it sooner, because I didn't get it until a couple of days ago. But if I would have got it sooner, I wouldn't be able to talk about certain story beats in the story for that game as well. It's really for such a smaller, low profile game. It has a lot of NDA and.
You want to talk NDA? If you guys ever get a code from THQ Nordic, they will literally, if you break embargo with THQ Nordic, they will send people to your house. They will take your niece. They will take your family. There is a literal line in their NDAs. It's like a stock line that's basically along the lines of, if you break NDA, we will sue you. It's not whether maybe we'll sue you. It's not, we will sue you for damages.
That stuff is serious.
Wow.
Oh yeah, NDAs are,
and even if
that's why I always laugh at people they'll tag Cory Barlog and be like, "Hey, can you talk about the next God of War?" I'm like, if he wants like a $5 million lawsuit, he could. But
exactly.
Yeah.
NDAs is like, even if you win, the amount that you will have to pay in attorney fees is so staggering that you still gonna feel like you lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, I want to get this. I want to get this super chat real quick. Jesse Darby, the $2 super chat. I think this is for you, Slo-mo. Slow. We got to put it out there so we get Oregon.
Yeah. We got this little running joke about I can't remember how it started. It was a few weeks back. We were talking about games that we want to see remastered to come back, and I made a joke about the Oregon Trail. Remember the Oregon Trail? Yeah, the 80s. Yeah, the 80s PC game. But it was lit. Oregon Trail was great. You
probably run on that Atari.
Hey, that would be a great exclusive for this.
Might be a launch,
Onyx, man.
Day one launch for the Onyx.
4K with HDR, 60 frames per second, Oregon Trail remastered. You can see your settlers die from various diseases, all in high definition, man.
With ray tracing.
Yeah, watch the wheel break on your wagon. Oregon Trail is great, man. You go 5 steps.
That shit was depressing.
John is sick. 5 more steps. John is dead. How?
In a matter of seconds, you're like, oh, whoa, yeah. That
was
game was
great, man.
depressing.
Yo, y'all out there eating that McRib, that remastered meat sandwich.
I was just about to say something. Hey, y'all stop eating that McRib, man.
Yo,
That's dangerous out there, man.
Yo,
Stop
that
eating that.
thing only show up every once in a while.
Is that big rib back?
Yeah, man.
It's back again.
No, it's not.
It is back. Look,
No, I didn't know that shit. I don't. Hey, Code. I don't eat ribs. I eat tacos. Remember? You eat ribs,
Anybody
sir.
that gets a McRib, something's wrong with you.
look, man. The McRib.
It's not even it's not even meat.
It's
they have
meat.
to
It's
press
just
it
not
in-
any meat that you know. It's like unicorn meat. Like the reason why they keep taking it away and then they bring it back every few years is they gotta catch another unicorn to cut them up and put them in the McRib.
Listen, man, anything that anything that McDonald's makes you that isn't a burger is not meat.
You know what? It's unfortunate. You know what's messed up about the McRib? They literally press it where it looks like rib bones.
Yes,
Right.
What's wrong with that?
Dude, I grew up eating spam, so I can't really say too much about.
no, I think we all ate fried spam before, but ribs.
I mean, it
I
might
would
just
eat-
be pressed spam.
Dude, what'd you say? Was
I
made
would
up?
eat spam for a
He said
week
ostrich
before I
knees
eat a
and-
McRib.
He says
Stop,
ostrich knees.
stop eating them ostrich knees and knuckles, man. That's not good for you, man. Stop,
They
stop
went out.
doing
They
it.
just literally went to a park and just had a farm.
Yo, why?
Unicorn ankles, huh? Slow-mo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
I
they
saw
where they get
burger,
the press
man.
at, man,
Messed up, yo.
to even make the McRib, man? Who thought of that?
What?
Let me get this meat pressing, make it look like real ribs. Like,
President should have shape of a slab.
You gotta make it look like a flag.
That's terrible, man.
The super chat, yo.
No,
Don't
this
eat that
super
stuff,
chat
man.
is ridiculous.
This super chat is wild. True version with the $5 super chat says, just took a shower for the first time in 8 years. Had to wait for the water. Waiting for what? Deck
December
tools.
tools. Deck tools. Yeah,
Tools is nothing to me. I trust in Phil for Eve.
forever.
I know,
Yo.
but I'm gonna.
True
No,
version
no,
looked
no,
like he had
give that man
concrete
his-
in the bottom of
yeah,
his tub.
He was abbreviated because he don't want to get more money. I feel him.
Yo, what?
Look, man, and Phil he trusts. Leave that
I
man
get.
alone.
Hey, I get it.
He
Phil.
trusts in Phil, man. Let that man
Hey.
win.
Waiting for the
Man,
dead.
I heard them Fan Fest was real stinky. I get it now.
Yeah, I heard FanFest dudes were booming.
hey,
Yeah.
y'all wild out here.
Oh
You
Lord.
don't like McRib.
All right. Real quick. The McRib consists of restructured boneless pork patty shaped like a miniature rack of ribs.
Nah, I'm
Wait,
good.
pork patty.
Pork patty. That don't even sound right.
That don't even sound right. Like, look,
Listen-
that's like
listen to
all
this.
the bad parts of a pig.
We could thank the U.S. Army for this. Meat restructuring was developed by the U.S. Army to deliver low-cost meat to troops in the field.
Yeah.
Damn.
No wonder.
I told you.
Imagine
it's
paying
remastered-
money that
it's
was used for
remastered
troop
meat.
food.
Did you ever watch the video of how they make chicken McNuggets?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I saw that. Disgusting.
It's a paste.
Yeah,
It's literally a paste, and I guarantee you that's what this McRib is made of.
It's a paste.
yeah, it's like a
Not
pink paste.
paste that they froze and fried.
All right.
I know, man. We can't talk about this.
Look, on next week's BRAP, we're going to be giving away a McRib to a lucky winner in the chat.
No, we ain't gonna do
Or
that.
No, we ain't doing that. Don't even play with these people. Don't
And
even
Christopher
play.
Hart said it's a McRat.
Micarata.
Shout out to Christopher Hart.
rip for your intestines because
I can't eat McDonald's. I don't eat that shit anymore. Nope, I don't do it. No.
If somebody offered, if that was the only thing I could eat after sitting in line for 3 days waiting for a PlayStation 5, I wouldn't eat.
their iced coffee is lit though. I gotta say that. though.
McDonald's?
I go to McDonald's for the
McDonald's coffee.
coffee.
Their coffee is good. Yes, their coffee's good. Yeah,
I
you
have
guys are
started
right.
drinking too much coffee. Caffeine is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hash brown still hitting too.
Sweet tea, man.
I think
Sweet tea.
Mike
Sweet tea.
Damn.
got better hash browns
Yeah.
though.
Hey, real quick, I want to throw this up here to our good friend Gregor Von Doom. The McRib is closer to real food than Forte is to winning a spelling bee.
Actually, I have a problem with spelling.
Yo.
Pronunciation is the problem sometimes.
So,
Imagine they told you to McRib.
Forte, you misspelled the name of our podcast. It's 3
One
letters,
time.
man.
One time. Also, that's where Gregor
The
coming from.
very first
Gregor was in the
episode.
thing when I did it.
The very first episode, man. You called it
I also
DSP.
said it wrong too.
All
What did
right.
I call it? The DSP or something?
Yeah,
something like that, man.
The
Hey,
McRib
it was perfect for the show. The inaugural.
the McRib is expired fillet of fish patties.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yo, always
Man,
to ask you this. So everybody has a McDonald's. Everybody has a Burger King. Have you ever wanted to go to McDonald's, but then you looked at the line at Burger King and there was no line, and you just went to Burger King instead?
No,
Nobody goes to Burger King.
that's why
actually,
Burger
I've
King,
done that.
go to any
I've done
Burger
that.
King, their parking lot is always empty. Why?
Yeah.
Even when there's
Yo,
people working inside,
facts.
where are the cars?
They can have all the promos in the world, and nobody's still pulling up.
Yo, sometimes you got to wonder if they're even open.
No,
they only get W's for their Twitter account. Everything else we take a L,
breakfast
man.
sandwiches are pretty good. I wouldn't go there for anything else.
No, I like the breakfast sandwiches.
They're breakfast
but
sandwiches because
The
that's what it
burgers,
used
the
to be.
burgers aren't too bad. But
You don't like that you don't like that flame broiled sandwiches they got over there, man?
yeah, I've rocked
The
the Flame
Impossible
Broil.
Whopper.
Oh, I heard that. My
I heard it's
that
actually really good.
my-
I've
my
never
son
had
Put
it.
on-
is good.
I did eat the Impossible Whopper, and the Impossible Whopper was
I heard it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
I wonder if they got in the possible.
Hey, Enrique, highlight Gregor's message real quick.
Hold on a sec here.
He has a new message now. Who is he slandering more?
Yeah, Gorky was like, "I need a logo." Damn it.
Let me say something real quick, right? This is 1000% true.
No, it is true. It's 100% true. I'm not gonna. Hey, I don't run from my transgressions.
Wait, did you really say that?
So glad.
I did. I
Asked for
DM'd him.
clarification. Because he was like, "Do you really mean pre-second?"
I was like, yeah, for a second.
Yo, did we lose Code? The Code, I guess Code had to leave.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
he said he got it back.
Oh, okay.
I got it now.
Shout out to Cole
Yeah,
for-
we got to wrap up. But big shout out to Optimus Code for hanging out with us this evening. Thank you, Code, and big shout out to our other guest this evening, Nick Undead 3XVI. Nick, thanks for hanging out with us, even though we went off the rails here talking about the McRib. Appreciate you hanging out with us, man, and talking some video games. Let everyone know where they can find you, Nick.
Yeah, you can find me up here in Canada where we don't get the nasty ass McRib because McDonald's Canada knows better. But you can find me on Twitter at Undead3XVI. Send me all those unsavory DMs. I need something to have a stroke off at the end of the night. So appreciate all the hate mail as always. And you can find all my written work at lordsofgaming.net.
Awesome. And Nick, great work, man. By the way, always love reading your stuff, man. Keep up the great work, man. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Always do.
And we got Gimme Forte. Forte, let me know they can find you, sir.
I don't want to talk to y'all.
All right, on that note, Forte doesn't
Gaming
wanna
for
talk.
wait. All right. Gregor gets on my nerves, but that was a hold up, Gregor. That wasn't a DM, man. That was a private message
he's pulling
between
receipts
me,
on you,
you,
bro.
and Slo-mo. That's all right. I understand how it is.
We're all
Understand how it
family, bro.
is.
We're all family.
We're all family. I know. Gregor's
It's
my
not
homie.
like he revealed a deep dark secret. I mean, it's not like this is.
Listen, I'm trying to get over it. I'm trying to get over it.
He's trying to get over it.
My feelings are hurt now. Gaming Forte everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, PlayStation. Check us out on DPS Podcast tomorrow night for episode 13 on my channel with my homeboy Slo-mo Backslap. Maybe he'll show up on time. I don't know. It's kind of a crapshoot, but
I always show up on time.
without technical
show.
difficulties. Oh, you know what? I'm the one hosting this week, so it won't be none. But yeah, check us out there.
On
And,
StreamYard, when is there? No, let me go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
Are we doing Discord tomorrow?
Oh, I forgot we are doing Discord tomorrow. So yeah, there will be technical difficulties. Come check out Forte bang his head up against.
Maybe there'll be maybe if you see us on StreamYards tomorrow, there were definitely technical difficulties. I'm not gonna be Slo-mo, but yeah, check us out there, and also check out Scumcast this weekend. It was fire last weekend. I wish I was there. They had the whole crew on there. And other than that, you guys have a great week. Check out my video I got going up tomorrow, 12 p.m. See it in.
Whole crew except for Masterlin. We haven't seen him in years.
I don't know. Master's even. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is that even a person anymore?
I mean, he's a person. I just don't know if he's like a legit somewhere. I don't know.
Sometimes I thought he was a cyborg or something. I haven't seen him in forever.
All right. Let me get the super chat here from what's up, wise old gamer? Great to see you in the live chat, sir. Appreciate you stopping by here, brother. He said went to Burger King for a free PS5, went to Taco Bell for a free Xbox Series X. Now I got diabetes. Who the hell's got free insulin? Oh my god, that's funny.
Wasn't it just buy a drink at both places?
No, you could.
What was the Burger King one? Because I know that's
buy a drink at Taco Bell. No, Burger King was like, you got to spend the $5, baby.
You got to spend, You
don't have to eat it though. I mean, you spend the money and throw the food away and just check and see if you won. You know.
Well, I know people that got the Xbox by buying just cups. Didn't even want the pop.
Got cups.
I bought them cups and stuff.
Man, my man was like, and they were doing it on the days. A matter of fact, you told me about it, Ethan. I told somebody about it. It's like they had the happy hour where the cups were only $1.
Somebody on Twitter got it. Like somebody posted on Twitter. I don't know who it was. Like, oh, I won. I got the cup.
There's
I won.
People that won, but there was something else that kind of happened with it. I wouldn't be surprised if they changed the contest up next time. Like for the cups. There was a whole like Reddit thread about like how to end the best ways to enter, the best times to enter, and I think people were hitting it like multiple times.
You can only enter 3 times a day.
No, but I'm saying with you coordinate almost like how the scalpers were doing. And because I know there was this one guy who did a YouTube video on some of the best times to hit. He actually hit and won, and he actually had his revoked.
Oh, really? Wow! Oh wow! Look at that, man.
Now, he didn't himself. He just put a video up on the best. He's won like almost every contest that they've done because he said I play like the middle of the night, and I play at a certain time. But he started like kind of breaking it down and talking about some of the Reddit stuff, and I guess they felt he was cheating. So they revoked his Xbox.
Wow.
Damn. You ain't got no inside trader knowledge.
Yeah.
No, but if you, from what I'm understanding,
like counting cards, I guess.
Yeah, they're like coordinated. And if you get enough people, and like you say, you buy a stack of cups, you hit it at a certain time, and you say, okay, I won this one. Then we try it again. You hit this one, then you take that. You start to coordinate.
Know the algorithm at that point.
Yeah.
Wow, that's what it sounds. That's crazy.
So
yeah.
Wow.
All right. So EJ, let me know where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, EC Jackson with an X. And when I'm not here, you can find me on Gaming Perspective Podcast with Undead 3XVI, Nick, and Sam Tobor, and Rage Virus.
Yeah. Ooh. Awesome, man. Awesome. Great podcast, by the way. We got B Money 101. B.
Yes, sir.
Where they can find you, man.
Man, everywhere. Same name, B Money 101. I'll be on 2K until Cyberpunk drops on the 10th, and then I'll be on Cyberpunk. So
nice. All right, and last but not least, Slo-mo backslap.
Yo, what up, y'all? Yo, fun episode tonight. I had a lot of laughs. It's been great. It's been
compliments
fun.
to Gregor Von Doom, by the way.
Oh, of course, always. And I apologize for being a little late this time. I was still working, unfortunately. I'm glad I'm done a little early tonight, even though that is definitely not early, but I'm finally done working late nights for a little while. I have to do that for a while, but yeah, check me out on my YouTube channel, Slo-mo backslap. I am 2 subs away from 800, I think. Let me double check that. Or 1 sub away from 800. So yeah, come check it out. Sub if you like it. I know I haven't dropped a video in a minute. It's been due to some weird stuff going on. Like I'm in the process of trying to convert all of my footage from my PlayStation 5 gameplay, because I'm doing the PlayStation 5 impressions review. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, and we'll see if it's a review or not. But look out for that in the next 2 days or so, as well as my review on Immortals Fenyx Rising. And great show, guys. Hope you guys have a great night.
Before we get out of here, man, since you just recently got your PS5, what are your quick first impressions, man?
It's I'm really enjoying it. Astro's Playroom really shocked me at how good it is. I really like that. The music is fire in that game. Yo, the GPU song is literally stuck in my head. And you know, my biggest problem is that I can't find it anywhere on any kind of streaming music service. I'm like, yo, where's the soundtrack for Astro's Playroom? Wherever it is, I will spend whatever amount of money.
The GPU one more?
The GPU one is lit. It's the best.
The SSD one stays in my head.
SSD is very good too. Those two, yo, those two are the top two. But GPU song, man, like when I recorded my footage for my video, I did the GPU map just because I wanted to hear the song again. It's just that good. But that game really shocked me, surprised me. Spider-Man, Miles. I haven't played Spider-Man Miles Morales yet because I got this thing where I like to play the previous game before I play the next one or the continuation in the story. So I'm playing through Spider-Man Remastered. Can't do fidelity mode. You know, the ray tracing is nice and all, but I'm sorry, 30 frames per second. No, sir. So definitely playing it in performance mode is amazing. I don't even understand how I was able to play it on my PlayStation 4 at 30 frames per second. I cannot go back now. It's like once you've seen the light, it's there's no turning back. It's just amazing. Played some of my PS4 games. I finally got everything that was on I brought over from my PlayStation 4 and almost those game saves over. It just took a little finagling. There's some things like minor things that I got issues with, but my biggest issue right now as a content creator is that it's a pain in the ass trying to get your footage in its best light so that you can use it in your videos, which is, I guess that's a learning curve until they do some kind of firmware updates, because there's something not right with the 4K recording that their encoder is doing. It's not working. But other than that, man, it's been great. I wish I had more time to play it, but you know, 3 kids, wife, family, full-time job, all that stuff is just, there's never enough time.
So many people have beat Miles Morales already, and like I'm still maybe 30% into the game. Like I just don't have time to play it, man.
Yeah, I actually muted Miles Morales on Twitter so I wouldn't get like hit with any like accidental spoilers and stuff like that. So I've been really good at avoiding a lot of things, and I did, even though my video tomorrow will say that I didn't get my Spider-Man game saves over. I did figure out how to do it eventually. It's just not as easy as doing it on Xbox where it's automatically there. You don't have to do anything extra. Right. But I got that over. I'm playing it now, and I restarted again, Spider-Man Remastered and New Game Plus. So I had all my powers and all my levels and everything in combat, and I just set it to the highest difficulty and just been having a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna burn through that real fast and then get into Miles, but I'm lucky so far that I've like avoided every spoiler so far.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, Slo-mo, again, congratulations on the PS5, man. Happy you finally got your your hands on one, and got a super chat here real quick. Leadmaster 537 with the $5 super chat says 1,200 more for Bug Snacks, baby.
1,200 more.
Yeah, I gotta drop. I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
Peace out, man.
Yeah, and then real quick before we wrap up here, the Wise Old Gamer says you should put a member tier for at Slo-mo Backslap to play Bug Snacks. It's actually a good idea.
What?
You actually like that idea a lot. Might have to do the Patreon. All right. On that note, everyone, I want to thank everyone.
To agree to this, and I do not agree to the. There is a rule in place where I will play it, and we are 200 subs away from that. So if you want to speed that process up, tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your friends, come sub my channel, and then watch me cry on air as I have to play that trash.
You know what?
So.
DPS podcast might implement some type of.
We might
implement some.
We are not implementing anything.
Like something where once Slo-mo gets his join button and he can have members and stuff. I think we might implement something like that for the people.
Do it.
That want people to play games that are on the show. I think we might do that.
That sounds like a great
idea.
I
don't have a problem with playing any game that somebody wants me to play. I don't know what's up with Slo-mo in that. Wow. Slo-mo's a gamer. He used to want to play everything.
Spider-Man then. Because you ain't been playing that. You're supposed to play that for 2 years now.
Listen, Slo-mo.
Play Spider-Man then.
If somebody was to donate 50
Spider-Man, then
Spider-Man, I would do it. I would do it.
But you said you were going to do it a while ago. You still haven't, so I don't believe.
Well, that's because I had my own volition on doing it. If I
okay, you are. I think you kind of blowing smoke right now.
$50 right now, I'll platinum it.
All right, guys. On that note, we're out. We'll give a big shout out to our guests again, Nick, Undead 3XVI, and Optimus Code for joining us. We'll catch you all next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out DPS Podcast tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Slo-mo Backslap and Gaming Forte. Everyone, enjoy your evening. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.